All righty, welcome. Good morning. Man, this Saturday just blowed all to pieces right out the gate. The old intro, Richton, my buddy, he came in, he's feeling low. Hacksaw isn't here today. He had something come up. Well, he told me, but I just didn't hear him because I was involved with something else. But regardless, and my guest today, Shower Doors of Charlotte, has totally blowed up. An emergency popped up with Bethany, and she's taking her daughter to the hospital. And God bless them, and hope all's well there. But anyway, we're going to struggle through it. Not struggle, actually. You know me, I can talk for 3 hours, but I would like your help. I really would. Let's open it up. The holidays are ahead. We got Thanksgiving around the corner. Christmas is here before you know it. My gosh, where does time go? Seems like just yesterday we had Christmas. Can you talk, Richton? You don't want to talk?
I can try. It just doesn't
Try,
sound great, but I
try.
can
No,
try.
you sound like Richton.
Okay,
You don't
great.
sound like anybody else.
All right, great. Well, I don't want
Because
to sound
I
like
got to have somebody to talk to,
for sure. I just don't
for
want to sound
three.
like I smoked, 20 packs before I came in here.
No, you don't smoke.
I don't, but I can have that
See,
accent.
I know better than that. But but I'll tell you what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about planning, and I'm gonna give you some basis for the planning talk. I've done this hundreds of times, probably over the 34 years I've been on the air, but it's probably one of the most important things we do is plan if we do it correctly around remodeling, home improvement. Frankly, any task in life requires planning you know. But I'm gonna ask you, Christian, what's the most important thing you do every day?
Communicate.
Thank you. You know, I preach a lot about this, but I don't understand how people and why people don't communicate any better than they do. And it's so easy to do. Goodness gracious, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call somebody and just talk. And in less than 3 minutes, you can conquer the world. And I don't really mean that, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. There's body language, there's inflection in dialogue, and it's so valuable. Wouldn't you agree?
I'd agree.
You know, like for example, Richton calls me at what 6:30 this morning.
Something like
No,
6:15. Yeah.
6:15, whatever. And glad you did. And he was sick, and didn't know what today was going to bring. Well, he showed up. Thank you.
Yes,
I
sir.
really appreciate it. And communication's the most valuable thing we all do every day. And I don't care what kind of relationship you've got, be it marriage, be it a family member, be it a
Friendship.
friend, business, acquaintance, whatever, church group, whatever. Man, we got to really work on our communication skills, and we've got to teach our kids that too. And I want to make some announcements here because at 9 o'clock this morning, 9 a.m., less than an hour from now, there's a free documentary screening, The Death of Recess. Google The Death of Recess. It's a documentary about our education system. I know you're probably tired of hearing me. Well, I'm tired of talking about
What
it.
year did it come out?
It didn't come out yet.
Oh, it
This
didn't.
is a screening.
Oh, okay. You said
So it's
screening.
coming
Sorry.
it's coming out, and this is a free screening of The Death
Gotcha.
of Recess. It's a documentary film being shown today at Christ the King Lutheran Church at 13501 South Trine Street. Now I'm gonna elaborate on this because I've hit up kind of put tools in schools. And put tools in schools is well, our mission is just to raise the awareness of the career pathways and opportunities in the construction trades. But more than that, working with your hands and your mind, critical thinking and creative thinking, creative imagination, all those things go into working with your hands. Okay? So,
We got a call from Uncle Red.
we do.
Yeah.
Well, let me speak to Uncle Red. Good morning, sir. How you doing? Hello.
Do what?
I said,
I,
how are you this morning?
I'm actually doing pretty good, Ray. I'm sorry everything kind of wheels fell off, but every once in a while that's what happens, and that's just part of life.
Yeah, buddy, you just pick up the pieces and keep on getting it.
Hey, you've been doing it all your life. I've been doing it all my life, and that's what most people need to learn. You can't come unravel when something goes wrong.
Jerry Eisenhower, he did a podcast yesterday about change. One of the most difficult things we do as human beings is deal with change. But you know what? In this day and time in which we live, my life changes almost daily now because you can't depend on people like you used to could. You can't
depend. You can't assume that because somebody tells you something, it's going to happen. And it really does scare me also, Ray, because you and I both, I mean, I'm older than you are, but we've watched it evolve through the different generational changes. And it really is, I just wish the people that are younger would realize, it doesn't work. You have to depend on each other a little bit. You have to help each other a little bit.
Right.
My daughter deals with a whole bunch of stuff in Western North Carolina in her business and of helping people. And it's just been a nightmare up there for about 12 counties that she takes care of. And they've got some places that are so obscure up there that they just chose that they didn't get much help to start with. We're not talking politics. We're just talking about facts.
Right. I understand.
They just chose to dig in, and they said, if you've got something and you want to send it up here to us, that's fine. But we're going to take care of each other. And they just pulled together. And I could name a couple of them, but that's not right to do. But they're just smaller places, and the people just said, hey, we're used to doing for ourselves, and that's what you're going to have to do. But back to the deal about depending on people, because of the supply and demand and the own demand, everybody wants everything right then,
Sure they do.
I mean, if you order something from one of the big people or Amazon or something, you expect to get it that afternoon or something. You can't live your life like that. You have to plan a little bit ahead. I mean,
well, here, it falls right into the OP factor, and I use that. We've talked about this in the past, you and I. The OP factor, people look at me and say, OP, other people. Other people, the OP factor. It's the biggest factor in construction, in planning a job, in laying out the job, in coordinating the job is OP. Because we can't accomplish anything any longer in our culture, in our workplace, without OP. That's why it's so dadgummed important to communicate.
That thing, you've heard me say this 6 or 8, 10 times. When I was at the engineering place as a project manager, we had an engineer that worked for DuPont. And when he came there, and I mean, he had a lot of track time in when he took early out. And he told everybody, and this company I worked for had been in business since 1930. They'd come up from nothing.
Right.
He said, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm here. He was the chief engineer. He said, you're going to plan it before you start. You're going to plan it you're going to engineer it from before you start. You're going to engineer it in the middle, or you're going to end up engineering it at the end, and it's going to really cost you. But you're going to engineer this project before it's over with. In other words, you can't just drive up in the yard with a bunch of stuff and people and start putting it together, because somebody has to engineer it or plan it.
You got actually, it's got to be on paper and correctly correctly.
Yeah. And the other thing that really, used to be, and you've dealt with this all your life, especially as remodeler. I mean, I don't know anything about remodeling like you do. I mean, I learned a lot hanging out with you, but you have to take notes of what you are doing. Now, if you're and when you build large projects, you and I know this, you do as-built drawings. They're demanded. In other words, but if you don't have a place to start from, you have to take real definite numbers and measurements and stuff, or you'll never get anything to put together and have it square and plumb. I mean, you can't do it. And if you don't know where the plumber's going to be, and you don't know where the heating guy's going, how are you going to build anything? You'll put something right in his way, or he'll put something right in your way. And I learned a long time ago, and I made my people a lot of money. I despise backing up. No,
Oh God.
backing
Oh
up,
Lord, I hate it. Like doing things
backing up
twice.
never makes anybody any money. It just makes everybody mad.
It doubles the price, sometimes even
Oh
triples
yeah,
the price.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's just like, especially when it's some big convoluted monstrous structure, some house that that. And there's nothing wrong with architects designing really wild stuff. I mean, I like
No.
stuff like that, and you do too. It's a challenge,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
love it. Yeah, it's great
I,
stuff.
oh yeah, but
Anybody can build the easy stuff. Come on, give me
yeah,
something
but
hard.
yeah. Well, I mean, Sears used to say, "Yeah, a house and a kit," and they delivered it, and you put it together.
A lot of them in
Ronald
Charlotte.
Reagan. I think Ronald Reagan lived in one or grew up in one, but and I know it's just nobody wants to slow down long enough to plan. You've got to plan, but when you plan, you have to be very particular, and you push this all your life. Every time I've ever heard you, you got to know who you're talking to, and you've got to get a good rapport with whoever's going to do the work, because buying the low number, and if people don't believe, everybody's, well, let me find somebody to do it cheaper.
Cheaper.
Number,
Yep, cheaper.
buying the low number never works, and here's the reason. When you go to a bid with any municipality anywhere, I don't care what state you're in, any towns, whatever, because I've been to plenty of them, they throw the low bid out. They don't even they open it, and if it's really low, they throw it out, because they know that whoever bid it, and I'm talking about in the mechanical business, plumbing and heating and all that.
Sure.
They won't even look at it, because they know if they sign this person up, even though they're legit, they're going to be licensed and everything. They've missed so much stuff, they will never get the job done. Or if they try to get the job done, they will do shoddy work or substandard material. And they know that. So it's an automatic. They pitch out the low bid and they pitch out the high bid, and then they open the ones in between. And there might be 10 people in between, and they pick through it. But, you got to trust who's working, but you got to get a good feel. If you don't have a good feel for who you're hiring, you are making one critical mistake right up front. You got to feel good about the people. But what you said a few moments ago, occasionally, like the radio show, when you do all the planning and you plan stuff weeks ahead, because I know you are organized. I mean, you like to cut up and laugh and everything, but you've got people on the hook 2 and 3 and 4 weeks out, because you're trying to work into their schedule, hoping they can come.
Yep.
But you have to understand that occasionally, even though you plan really well, it's like, what are people supposed to do up there where they had the flood and all the hurricane stuff and everything? Do you think anybody ever planned for any of that?
Lord, no. Man, no.
Absolutely not. There's people that built stuff up there and never planned for it.
You know what? You know what? Let's talk about that a minute, because last night I was sitting there looking at some updates, this, that, and the other, and they're building roads quicker than I've ever seen roads built in my life. They're building bridges quicker than any bridge building I've ever seen. And what this proves is, when you step back and let people do what they can do it.
People that are good at it can do it.
But here's what's negated in all this: the rule book. The rule book is out the window. Inspections are out the window. We're in a case of a catastrophe here, and we're recovering. And right now, we've got to recover and get on with life and take care of people. And they're up there with, man, just grinding like crazy, getting it done. They are doing it. They're rebuilding I-26, I-40 at record-breaking performances, records. And these are people that weren't even asked to be here.
Oh yeah, a lot of people just volunteered, stopped what they were doing, and went up there and said, "Hey, I'm gonna help you do this."
Okay, hold the phone. I got to take a break. Talking to Uncle Red, we're just talking right here on About Your House this morning. Call me, enjoy the conversation this morning, 704-227-8986. Love to hear from you. Uncle Red on the phone. We'll come on back, talk to him some more. We're going to talk about, like I said, we got a free documentary screening this morning, The Death of Recess at Christ King Lutheran Church, 13501 South Tryon Street. Get up, get your clothes on. If you got kids and you really want to see a good documentary, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids. You owe it to our future to get up. The Death of Recess. We'll be back with more About Your House.
More about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Carolina Foundation Solutions is a family-owned and operated company and a licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina, providing foundation solutions from the mountains to the sandy shores of the coast. At Carolina Foundation Solutions, our objective is to help educate, offer guidance, and provide assistance. With over 200 years of combined experience, our family of experts are ready to help protect and repair your largest investments. If you have a problem, we have a solution. Call 877-883-4626 or online, carolinafoundationsolutions.com.
Go outside and take a look at your home. Are the gutters doing their job? The number one enemy to your home is water. Most homes are built with small, inadequate gutters and small downspouts. ABS Insulating has a division of the company that does nothing but gutter services. All gutter services: cleaning, maintaining, repair, new downspouts, replacement, and new gutters with many types available. They're a leader when it comes to gutter protection. Call ABS Insulating today, 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
Owens Chimney Systems is known for all professional chimney services since 1989, including chimney cleaning, recommended annually, chimney evaluations and inspections, any and all chimney repairs and restorations, gas fireplace and gas fire log service, furnace cleaning, cleaning out one of the most overlooked appliances in the home. Get it done right the first time. That's Owens Chimney Systems at 704-554-9595. Or you can visit us online at owenschimneysystems.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to About Your House. Excuse me. I had a little brain lapse there. You're on
brain fade.
You're brain fade. Once again,
you were talking about how quickly the bridges and all
the builders up there,
put back.
You know, and I'm gonna say this too, and you and I both can comprehend this. Their repairs weren't planned; they were reactionary. These are a bunch of blue collar people that have done this stuff for their whole life. Got together and they knew what they had to do. They knew it had to be done, and they did it. The material showed up, the trucks showed up, the people showed up, the equipment, and they did it. Amazing. Man, I've heard of and I've seen things. It's just like small miracles. And this is the power of people and love that bring people together. And we can't depend on our government. We can't depend on our infrastructure sometimes. We have to take the bull by the horn and do it. You know, And some people sit back and say, well, let them do it. Let who do it? Who is them? Them ain't coming, you know. So it's just been an amazing, just totally mind-blowing in certain situations what's been done in a very short time. And I just commend all the people.
Oh, I do too. But, you know, when talking about the Western North Carolina, up here about where I live, going all the way to the border, you know, going to Tennessee and all, there's 70 some odd % of the people that are here that weren't from here. That's how fast you know how fast it's grown coming up this way.
Yes.
And going on up towards the mountains. Okay, a good example. You remember this, and I do too. 1989. Hugo comes crashing up from Charleston, comes up through here at almost 100 miles an hour. Now, it went through here, and then it went on up and jumped the Shenandoah Valley and went around on the backside and ended up way up north. I mean, it went back out into the Atlantic. I mean, it was just like a runaway train. But when everybody went in the attack mode then, it wasn't about beautification. It was about get people access in and out of their houses, the driveways, the roads. You remember that we had trees down everywhere.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
There was pathways cut to get the power back on. We'll get the trees later. And that's what's happening up there where those guys are working. Do you really need a bridge inspector if you're up there building a temporary bridge, or you're putting it in because you're probably putting it in rated 3 or 4 times more than what was in there because there's no bureaucracy involved. There's no, in other words, they're building it so it'll stay, and they're building it for right now. You have to understand that the event that happened, now could it happen again? Sure, it could happen in 2 weeks, but probability says it won't. But, and then some people called it a 1,000-year flood or a 500-year flood or a 10,000-year flood, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Those people are stranded up there, and they're going into the winter. That's not helping them at all. And they need as much infrastructure established as they can. How you get it, who cares about it? It's not worth arguing about it, because arguing about it is what we do with everything else.
Everything. Who's right and who's wrong? Who do you believe and who do you not believe?
And I'm gonna give you.
And what do you believe?
Example. You'll love this example. Years ago, and I was living up here at the lake, they were gonna put a new bridge over the lake down on 16, and a company out of South Carolina was building the bridge. There was a bridge already over there on 16, but they were going to make another 2 lanes. And I stopped because every week they would hang their welding machines up on the cranes and they'd go home. They'd work 40 hours. And I stopped one day. I just turned around and went back and I said, why are y'all not working on this bridge to get it done? I said, we desperately need this other road. And the guy said, hey, we bid the work for 40 hours a week. We do 40 hours and we go home, because that's the way the money was proposed.
Right.
And that's what was put.
That's the plan.
You can't, that was the plan for that. But
right.
You don't do that in a catastrophic event. You do whatever it takes with whatever you've got. But you can't imagine, you said something just before you went to break that hit home with me. You remember when the little girl was trapped in the well in Texas?
Oh, yeah. Very well.
Yeah. And they made a little movie about it. And the guy said, those two, nobody knew what to do. That's something that doesn't happen just a couple of times, maybe in somebody's lifetime. And they said, they were talking and they were going in the right direction. I mean, they were getting that stuff done. And the guy said, well, how did all these drill bits show up? I don't know. The chief of police said, I don't know. They just showed up. Where did all this oxygen come from? I don't know. A truck backed up and unloaded the bottles. People started sending stuff. There wasn't anybody asking anybody for anything, just exactly what you alluded to a minute ago. People know what they need. You can't wait on the paperwork to clear or worry about who's. And if somebody's donating a whole bunch of stuff to some corporation or something, Sure, I know they're gonna take it off their taxes as a donation. Who cares if they're getting it to the place that needs it? It doesn't matter about the paperwork.
Nope.
They're doing
Not one
something
iota.
good. They're doing something good without anybody asking them or begging them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what's happening. And just seeing that there really is still some good in people.
There's
Because
we're
people have
we are
lost faith.
we're all good. We all have greatness. It's
Oh,
just they try to do.
People
they try.
always rise to the occasion.
Yeah, but humanity, it's innate
Oh, yeah.
in all of us. That's who we are as people. God made us that way.
Well, when my kids wrote the obit for my wife over 20 years ago when she passed away, the school teacher, they said that she had the ability to find in that good in everyone. You know, in the kids.
Right.
She
Right.
The people are born and they're good.
We're
They
born
have to
that
be-
way. We're
You
born
have
that
to
way.
You have to train them, for lack of a better word, and that's not the word I'm looking for, but
Well, it's
they have
a
to
good
be
word.
taught. They have to be taught to do things the other way or to not do for people for whatever reason. And they're taught by the parents or
Well,
lack
let,
of
let,
it.
let me tell you a big deterrent since we're talking about that, because the competition that kids are taught in school through grading, through standardized testing, the
Oh, yeah.
competitive nature of education, the way education is detrimental to creativity. It literally stifles creativity in humans, and it does. It's been proven. I'm not
Oh, yeah.
talking. I'm just repeating something that's already been proven. You know, this competitive nature of our education model that exists today is horrible. That's why, once again, at 9 p.m., there's a free documentary screening, The Death of Recess. Google it,
Right.
folks. If you're listening to me and you want to see what the whole thing's all about, Google The Death of Recess. Watch the trailer. But this morning at Christ the King Lutheran Church, 13501 South Trine Street, which is what, 30 minutes from now, okay? They're going to have a free screening, and it deals with exactly what we're talking about in humanity, in our kids, in our education system that's run amok. And this is, look, don't believe a word I say. Go watch it. Get involved. Because if we don't change it, our kids are killing themselves at an unprecedented rate. Why? Watch it, The Death of Recess. And many more things are coming in light, and I'm going to talk about it. But I got Uncle Red on the phone right now. We're just talking about, well, the way people are. Western North Carolina is a great example of humanity and what we're all made of. And don't get in our way. And that's a word that you better owe up to. You don't get in their way, because they will take care of it. Don't get in their way.
About 3 weeks ago, I saw a little clip on TV, and there was a guy, you know, and it kills me that I'm as old as I am and just can't go up there, because I was in a position to just drop what I was doing and go up there. It's just, it'd be a little hard for me to go up there and do it like they're doing it, you know, because they're eating beanie weenies and sleeping in trucks and stuff and just working 16 hours a day. And they're just doing it because it needs to be
Well,
done.
you know, though, on that note, Uncle Red, our day's coming. We ain't give up yet. There's got to be a wave and another wave and another wave of building and educating. This can be a blessing in disguise if we just look at the good in it. And I see the good in it. I feel the good in it. It's called humanity and the way we react to our fellow man. And that's coming forth. And it's a good thing. But you and I both, as old as we are now, we can do more beneficial things at home and take care of the home front. That's the way I looked at it. I was like you, both of us were very giving and we want to help. Well, we are helping. You help every day. You help mankind every day. You know you do. I do the same thing. That's what we do. That's what we're made for. That's what our purposes are.
Yeah, and I'm not in it for the money, and you aren't either.
No, this ain't about money, folks. This is about the well-being of mankind.
That gentleman that they were showing was walking around, and there was so many generators running because people have been sending generators from everywhere.
Oh, I know.
And he was hooking stuff up and keeping critical stuff going. And he said, we're all so tired of listening to generators, but he said, I got to thinking about it and said, somebody's got to come up here and make sure that all these little generators have oil and gas in them all the time so they'll run and not tear up. And he said, I'm good at this, and this is what I chose to do. He said, my hope is that the power company can get enough power back on to where we can turn the generators off and move them maybe to another place. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because they're running them almost like it's a war zone. In other words,
well, it is.
The small generators, although they're really good and they have safety protection and stuff,
Sure,
they're not made to run 24/7, day after day after day after day. Somebody has to service them and stuff. You know,
them are called military grade generators.
Oh,
the ones that run
that's
24/7.
That's the ones we had in Vietnam. Where
Yeah, buddy.
If you were under attack, you flip a switch. He flip a switch, and it takes all the safeties out, and it runs until it blows up. In other words, it doesn't matter what happens to it; it just keeps running.
Yep.
That's the way all that stuff's built. But yeah, I'm amazed. You know, I'm just amazed at how hard everybody's working up there, and I'm just glad that somebody, divine intervention, my sister would call it, has given them basically a good run of weather, not too terribly bad, so they could get this done. Can you imagine if it started just raining and really got
Lord.
I mean, people would have still tried to work, but they couldn't have been nearly as productive. And there again, going back to where you started this conversation when I called in, if you can plan everything perfectly to build something, and you can really do your due diligence, but you can't do anything about the weather. If you get lousy weather for a week or two, you cannot get mad and scream at everybody that you've hired to do the work, because they want to do a really good job, and they're not going to do it when it's pouring down rain.
That's
or
right.
There's certain disciplines that you can't do in the pouring down rain.
That's a fact.
You know, and you don't want, and if it's your house and you're spending thousands of dollars, you don't want a contractor out there doing substandard work just to make the date.
Well, it's like I pull up at a house, and a new house, new construction, and it's raining, and the yard's mud, and there is no driveway, and it's mud from the curb to the door. And I call the contractor, says, "Ain't gonna happen today." He says, "Well, why not?" I says, "'Cause it's raining. Have you been to that house? It's mud from the curb to the house, and I'm allergic to mud." and your house should be allergic to mud. And it ain't going to happen today because I don't walk in mud. He says, "Well, can't you put down some plywood or something?" I says, "No, I'm not." Golly.
Hey, I built a freezer close to the Greensboro airport years ago. I can tell you when it was, 1983, because I had a brand new Ford diesel truck. And I got up there, and it was built in a low place, because people buy land in kind of bad places because it's less expensive.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper land. Yeah.
Well, it's big business, and that's out of my price range. I'm not in that part of it.
Well, this refrigerator's big, though. You say refrigerator, most people might think refrigerator. We're talking about
no. I mean, this is like a big airplane hangar.
Exactly. It's a big chilled box.
Yeah, and the guys down, and the general contractor is working. Did not know him. I don't know where he was from. Didn't care. I couldn't believe that they were trying to build a project and they didn't have any gravel anywhere. And I had all this equipment coming that I had to unload off of a 2-lane road into the opposite side from where he'd been working. And I just thought, this is crazy. So I called Martin Marietta on the phone and said, "Hey, you got anybody sitting around over that needs to deliver some gravel?" He said, "Oh yeah, I got a list of people." I said, "Well, start sending them." He said, "Well, what are you going to do? How much you need?" I said, "I have got no idea how much I need. all I know is I got to build a road and a place to park and set all this equipment, because I was not setting $200,000 or $300,000 worth of equipment out in the mud.
Oh God,
Seriously.
no. Oh
You know
Lord.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And the first guy came up and he said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "Just back in as far as you can and dump it and pull out." And when the next one came, I said, "Just back through it and keep putting it down." I think it was 19 truckloads of rock, and I made me a place in there. And and you know what the general contractor did? He comes over and he says, "You know, I think I'm going to move my trailer over here." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "If you're so stupid you wouldn't put rock down to help your job go faster, you're not moving over here where I am. I'm on the opposite side of the building, and you can stay where you are and walk in the mud." But back to your house deal about mud, I think you taught me this, or somebody's been around residential construction. The last thing you do, the last thing you want, and especially in a wooden floored house, is, and it's probably true with slab houses too. I don't know. I never thought about it. You don't need people tracking red mud into the subfloor or whatever of the house, because
That's right.
you never get it out.
The golden rule to building anything, and you can attest to this. You just did, as a matter of fact, in your gravel story. You've got to take care of Mother Nature from the get-go.
That's right.
When you start digging footings, you better control the water around that house. And you better make an entryway to that house in the plan, in the early plans, and grade an entry to that house. And I know this from experience. And it's the most important thing you can do is take care of Mother Nature from day one. Thank you, Clayton Stokes. God bless your soul. He was my first mentor in construction. That was the first day, first class he taught me. Mother Nature comes first. Prioritize your job around Mother Nature. And he's right. And there you go. Just like you did with the gravel. You dummy. Why in the world would you not take care of the grounds, the water, the nature, the flow before you ever start doing the job? So anyway.
And I went by there about 20 years later. Just rode over there. I was coming down 40 and I just whipped over there, you know.
Sure.
It wasn't that far. And you know what? It's all in grass and stuff. But my driveway and my big gravel pad down there by that engine room is all right where I put it. You know what I mean?
And they used it.
Yeah. It's a little neater than it was. And they did it. And I mean, we ate it. But I was not going to sacrifice.
No, actually, that saved y'all some money.
Oh, I know it did, but I was smart enough to, and I didn't call and ask for approval to do it. I just did it, kind of like what you said about the people in the mountains. If it needs doing, let's do it. And I'll guarantee you that those people that are hauling rock up there from wherever the gravel's coming from, I'll guarantee you that they're probably giving away as much mixed stuff and surge stone and stuff that they know what they need for the base for them places where they're crossing creeks and stuff. They're sending it up there. They're not worried about whether who's paying for it, because there is no way to set up a budget in a place that's nearly wiped out anyway.
That's right.
And their budget would never be big enough to take the hit anyway. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Put them on the payment plan?
That goes right back in. That goes right back into the planning aspect of it. This is a job that's totally, honestly, it's just a complete reactionary movement based on the need and the people, and it's just great. I mean, it's a tremendous movement, unfortunate movement, but it's one that we've got to deal with collectively as a community, and that's what's happening.
And it has to be a real event, because too many people are coming from too many faraway places to donate their services.
Yep.
And these are working people, hands-on people.
Yep.
They know what to do.
You got it.
They know exactly what has to be done. And if anything, they'll have overkill in everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the big corporations that donate stuff, and I'm sure that's the way it's working. It may not work that way with everyone. The people that donate their time have no way to. They don't get recoup. They don't recoup anything from doing that. You know, it's kind of like when I rode for the Patriot Guard, and it'd be 2,000 motorcycles. You know, you couldn't take any of that expense off. I was doing that out of love. You know what I mean? You ate the cost.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's just the way life is.
Unfortunately,
but,
money.
I chose to do it.
Yeah, money is the ultimate ruler in our culture, and unfortunately, and I understand it, but I don't agree with it totally. You know.
No, well, you know, but I'm glad they're getting a little traction up there, and they're getting some of the stuff opened up. They got a lot of work to do, and they'll be cleaning up there for years.
Oh God!
But I'm gonna finish on this one little note because this comes back to the way stuff's built now.
You got 1 minute.
Okay, up in Old Fort, there's a big old building that sits by the river called. It used to be a big mill.
Right.
It's called Hillman Brewery. They make beer.
I'm aware of it. Yes.
Okay, and there's a nice restaurant there.
Yep.
2 weeks before this thing happened, my lady friend and I went up there and sat on that thing and looked at the river. And I told her, I said, you know, this place is in a bottom because the houses way off are on stilts.
Right.
And she said, yeah. I said, if it ever flooded up here, God forbid, I hope I didn't jinx them. This place would flood. But I said, this building is so massive and was probably built at the turn of the century. The building would withstand it. The water would come up in it, but the building wouldn't move.
Right.
Sure enough, I checked yesterday. They're open and making beer, but the kitchen and stuff's not up to snuff yet. But
Gotcha.
They're saying we're open. So if we built stuff like we used to build stuff, it can stand a lot more. We have cheapened and lightened stuff up and built it with fast-grown pine and everything, to where you wonder why it flies all to pieces, you know, when it gets hit by something.
Right.
Because it's just not built quite as well as it should be.
Gotcha.
You have a good day, Ray.
Thank you.
I'm going to go in and buy some groceries. I'll call you back later.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Uncle Red. He's out. We're going to take a break. 704-227-8986. Running solo today. Got some instances happen. Prevented my guest from coming in. No problem. We'll wing it. I need you. Give me a call. 704-227-8986. We're going to talk about some events coming down in the trades area, as well as some updates on Put Tools in Schools. Planning your winter checklist. The holidays are ahead. Let's talk tools. We'll talk soon. Come on back. We'll be here.
Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
John DeLand here for Crowntown Cannabis. We at Crowntown Cannabis care about you and your health. All of our products, from edibles to topical creams, are all third-party tested for purity and quality. 4 locations, open 7 days a week to help you with any concerns you may have. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can call us at 704-412-7121 or online at crowntowncannabis.com.
The professionals at Kilo Exterminating Company have over 70 years of experience in pest control. Throughout the years, they always pride themselves on maintaining the highest standard of quality and customer service, with every technician being state certified. And moisture readings are standard with every inspection. Their top priority is ensuring your home is free from pests such as ants, mosquitoes, termites, and any other pests wreaking havoc on your home. That's Kilo Exterminating at 704-333-9855
or online, kilo.biz. That's 704-333-9855.
Hi, Roddy Player here with Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. Do you ever wonder how a local, family-owned business can compete with the big box national chain stores? It's simple. As part of North America's largest buying group, we have over $15 billion in buying power. We buy products at great prices from more manufacturers than any chain store, period, and we pass those savings on to you. So buy local and save more at Queen City, where you'll always find the right product, right price, and real answers guaranteed.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to About Your House, Saturday morning right here on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app, stream us live, by far the best way to hear it. Or go on your browser, foxsportsradiocharlotte.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and more to come. We'll keep you posted. A couple of announcements here around the trades and activities thereof. Education opportunities. How's that? PHCC, the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Association of Carolinas, serving Charlotte, the Triangle, Western North Carolina, Wilmington, and all of the areas. The members of the PHCC, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Association of North Carolina. Okay, they've got an event coming up next weekend around education. Sunday, November 10th, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're having an education summit in their annual meeting. It's a two-day event, Sunday and Monday. And you can go online to PHCC to the events, phccnc.com, and click on the events tab on the left-hand side of the page, and it'll take you to the agenda. Like Sunday, November 10th, education benefits, 11 a.m. to that. Hey, it ain't free. Okay, let me just get that off the table right here. You will pay for it. However, for you people out there that need the certification points, I can't think of the words right now, but extended education benefits. Registration opens at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Taco bars open. Okay, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Plumbing breakout. Well Seal certification class, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. HVAC breakout, fundamentals of A2L systems. Have no idea what that is, but that's the whole idea, to educate people, right? 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. plumbing and HVAC combined. Tool press tools, Milwaukee team going to teach you about some great tools. Milwaukee is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the trades. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., the combined plumbing and HVAC, piping to gas appliance training. Dale Nichols going to be performing that. So, see, you got a whole day, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., combined HVAC plumbing, basics of financial planning. Absolute in business. If you don't know how to take care of your numbers, you will fail in business. You might be a great technician, but if you can't make money, it ain't no good to you, right? That's just the way it is. And that wraps up that day. Monday, November the 11th, it's about the administration part of it, entrepreneurial operating systems. But I'm gonna have to shoot straight here, and it might make some people angry. I hope not, but if it does, it does. I don't really care. Nothing on the agenda about workforce development. Nothing on the agenda to speak of it whatsoever. Not that I've seen, and I covered the whole agenda. I don't understand when industry is going to get involved and participate in waking up and raising the awareness of the wonderful career pathways in the trades. Not even on the agenda. I don't understand it. such an important workforce development right now. You're short labor, you're wanting good help, but yet these kids know nothing about the opportunities. How do I know this? Here we go. I as the executive director of Put Tools in Schools, and one that's obviously I'm very, very, very passionate, and frankly, I believe in this day and time a little overly passionate about this whole topic. And there's a reason though, because I deal with it. I have dealt with it my whole adult career. How do I deal with it? I'm out in it I used to be in it a lot more because I was out in it every day. Not so much anymore because I'm in the office taking care of communicating, setting things up, making sure we're moving forward with our mission. And there's a lot involved this day and time. And there again, OP, other people play a very important role. But recently we've committed to two after-school programs, one with Center360.org, another nonprofit that we're collaborating with. And every Monday afternoon, we get our wares and we go over there and talk to, and I say we because I normally, thank Todd Compton, Compton's Automotive, for last Monday evening, where he showed up and we addressed the kids around automotive opportunities, being a mechanic, technician, maybe an apprenticeship opportunity in the automotive mechanical spectrum of the trades. Okay. And thanks, Todd. I appreciate you coming over, and the kids loved it. And these kids are 17 kids with Center360.org, and they're great kids. They're all middle school kids. And middle school kids are by far the best age to address the opportunities, because if you can ring a bell or light their candles up when they're in middle school, you might just have yourself a candidate, because that's a great age. So, we're over there dealing with these kids. And then on Tuesday night, we have the West Boulevard Ministry kids, which is anywhere from 10 to 20 kids as well, middle school age as well. And also, what's so neat about that group is there's 6 to 7 men that are coaches, mentors to these kids, which are fantastic. And all of them get just as excited about learning things around the trades, tools, and getting things done as the kids. And it's really, 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 to me, it's a very special time. Okay. 17 here and 17 here, right? 17 kids in both groups, middle school kids. Well, I posed a question to them, and I may have addressed this last week. And if I did, I'm going to do it again. So I don't care, because it's a big fact. And I knew I would get validation of what's being taught or what is not being taught or addressed in the schools, our education system. And before I get into this, I want to preface this. I'm not well liked by the administration of CMS, and I'm sorry. I mean no ill will. I mean nothing personal by any of what I talk about, nothing at all. I am not here to criticize any teachers, any principals, or any of the people that get up every day with passion and desire in their soul to do the right thing by our kids and teach them. I love teachers. I do. I love them. I honor them. I respect them. I honor educators until it gets in the way. And I don't mean anything harsh, but it seems like administration they don't like me because I speak the truth. For example, back to the topic here. Monday night, Tuesday nights, every week we're Put Tools in Schools is meeting with these kids, just working with them, showing them how to drive a nail, how to handle a screwdriver, literally how to handle a screwdriver, drive nails, drill holes in wood, drill holes in steel, drill holes in concrete. Simple things that they've never, ever been able to do in their lives for whatever reason. Okay? I asked them a question. How many of you kids know what the trades are? 34 kids. Not one hand goes up. Not one. How many of you are aware of the construction trades? Not one hand goes up. How many know what the word apprenticeship means? Not one hand goes up. That's 3 questions they're not even aware of in middle school. Now, I'm not saying all kids are that way, but I got 34 kids from 2 parts of town, 2 or 3 or 4 different schools, and they don't even know what these words mean. And then I ask them the question we want to ask them, who all's going to college? And how many hands go up? All of them. And then you ask these kids, what are you going to college for? I'm going to be an NFL player. Did you hear what I said? Doesn't even pertain to college or a degree. There's no degree in NFL. There is in sports management and around sports. I realize that. But there's no degree for NFL players. Right? Am I right, Riston?
Yeah, it's correct. They just probably were thinking more college football.
But see?
To get to the NFL.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
See, they're totally unaware of reality in middle school, real reality. And that question was asked to 4 or 5 other kids, and their answer was the same. I'm going to go in the NBA. I'm going to go in the MLB, baseball.
Yeah.
But that's what they're going to college for. Have they been coached or swayed or scammed? Yeah, sure have. They know that, but they don't know what the trades are. But I will say this, and another thing, the mentors with the West Boulevard Ministry Group, they are fun bunch of guys. They get as excited as the boys do about every Tuesday we're learning and we're addressing things. And they don't know any more to speak of than the students. You see what's happened, folks? Now, you probably wonder why I go off on this so much, because when I go out every week, I dress stupid. And I know people say that's rude. I don't care. You're suffering, not me. We're going to talk more about it. We got to take the top of our break. You're listening. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, to About Your House. Right here on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app, Fox Sports Charlotte. Stream us live. That's the way to do it. We're talking today, we're going to talk about planning. We're going to talk about winter checklists. We're going to talk the holidays and tools. Well, I'll talk when I come back. We'll keep it up. Right here on About Your House. Come on back. Hour number 2 coming up. Okay, welcome back to About Your House. Talking about, well, before the break, we were talking about some education, the PHCC of NC Education Summit. Once more, I just want to cover it, and then I'm going to talk about the screening of the documentary. November 10th, which is next Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., and I don't have the agenda after 9. I bet after 5 it was drinking time because they seem to do a lot of that at these meetings. And, yep, sure enough, there you go, 6 p.m. and, yep. So anyway, that's next Sunday at the Fairfield Inn. Let me see. Yeah, Fairfield Inn and Suites of Charlotte, Uptown, 201 South McDowell Street, just to give you an idea of where it's at. Now, if you want to review the agenda.
It's right near the courthouse.
Is that what it is?
Right near there, yep.
Well, you're very familiar. You go up there every day. You know what you're talking about. PHCCNC.com. All the details. Press on the events and you'll see it. Okay. Now, I was talking before the break about how I knew kids and what have you in the state of affairs or lack of in our education system in and around. And by the way, you know, I talk a lot of trash about CMS and the lack of the trades in our schools. It's not just Charlotte-Mecklenburg. It's abundant everywhere. Granted, in rural areas of North Carolina as well as the country. And I want to thank Cale Hallman for his passion and intensity as well. He is the chairman of the board for Put Tools in Schools. He is the workforce development director of McGee Brothers Masonry. An incredible young man of 30 years old, just a powerhouse, spiritual guy that's just on target with love for humanity and love for the kids and students and their future. And he's out and about. He was in somewhere out Midwest last week or so, and he's out there along with several others in the industry. And from what I'm gathering, we're not so different here. Although it's pretty bad here, it could be a lot worse. But at any rate, we need to step up. Industry needs to step up, get involved in this. And I'm going to throw an opportunity out in just a minute. But right now, I want, once again, right now at Christ the King Lutheran Church, 13501 South Tryon Street, there is a free documentary screening, The Death of Recess. It's a very, very, very informative and educational documentary around our education system and how it's failing our kids. So, and listen to the kids. They're talking. And a lot of this was done in Charlotte, by the way. Michael Rillon, God bless him. Michael Rillon, the Community Affairs and Career Development Director, somewhere around that title, out at the Palisades. He was at Olympic for many, many years and really did a lot of great things for careers for their students out there. Did a great job. Well, he's a couple months back, he got a award for his efforts because he's very passionate educator. Anyway, he makes me aware of things that are going on in the community around the career pathways. And let me speak to that effect here shortly. Here we go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I apologize here, folks. Computers buttons, sometimes they just don't get it. At any rate, today, just if you've got time and can get to the Christ the King Lutheran Church, it would be great. Okay. The event coming up, there's an event coming up by CMS, and it's called the Skilled Trades and Workforce Readiness of Charlotte. It's a work day, and it's Endless Possibilities. Here we go. CMS Endless Possibilities event. And it is the week of December 5th. Well, let me read it to you. How's that? I want everybody to be aware of it because this is a big, big opportunity. Tremendous opportunity for students, for CMS, for industry to come together, engage kids. So I'm going to read a little ditty that's coming up, okay? December 3rd through the 6th, and then Saturday, December 7th. And I'm going to read it to you. I hope this message finds you well. My name is, he's the career curriculum coordinator for skilled trades and workforce readiness for Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. I'm not going to mention his name, along with another administrator, invite McGee Brothers Masonry and Put Tools in Schools to the upcoming Endless Possibilities event hosted by CMS at the Park Expo and Convention Center from December 3rd through December 7th of this year, which is next month. Here's a breakdown of the event. December 3rd through the 6th. This is Tuesday through Friday of that week. All eighth graders across the district will explore high school magnet options as well as college, career, military opportunities, and hopefully the trades. Now, notice they circled their event around or directed it around high school magnet options as well as college, career, and military opportunities. Well, they've extended an opportunity to the trades. Not Put Tools in Schools necessarily, the trades. They want interactive engagement with our students. Eighth graders are absolutely the most wonderful students to expose this to. Great age, adolescent, perfect age. And then the opportunity to follow up on it in years to come. We're planting a seed that you couldn't pick a better time or event. If they're going to bus all the eighth graders from all the schools, middle schools of Charlotte down there to tour, to see all the opportunities, be it college, be it military, be it the trades. So I highly recommend. Now, to make this event a total success, we are seeking partners to provide hands-on experiences and career exploration opportunities. To that fact, the only time we learn as human beings is when we apply. When we apply energy and education and creativity to a task and complete it, that's when you really, really learn. So we need to engage these kids. Once again, to make this event a success, we're seeking partners to provide hands-on experiences and career exploration opportunities. Students thrive. This is our education. They know it. Students thrive when they could directly engage, seeing, touching, and interacting with what they are learning and make a lasting impact. It empowers these kids. Now, once again, this is an opportunity to get in front of kids with the trades. Now, I'm begging industry to step up. You don't have to reach out to me. Reach out to CMS. We are going to put this event on About Your House, not About Your House, PutToolsInSchools.org event page. So if you're interested in attending and addressing it, it's going to be a big event. It's at the park down on Independence next to the Bojangles Arena, and it's going to be a great event. CMS Endless Possibilities event starting Tuesday. Now, it's open to industry. You can go to the link that we're going to post on PutToolsInSchools.org and go there and sign up. There are plenty of slots that the trades can get involved. Put Tools in Schools is going to make an appearance. I won't be on site. I will not be there. But Put Tools in Schools will be there Thursday, December 5th, with hopefully other trades that we've sent out notices to, and hopefully we'll get a team of trades to come in and support the mission of raising the awareness, okay? And then Saturday, from 9 till Saturday, let me see what the times are. They don't have the times. They just said December 7th, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning at the park. They will be having a day open to the public, and that's the big day where everybody can come. Saturday's typically not a great day in Charlotte because everybody's too busy. But hey, maybe if you know enough about it, this is a great opportunity. Great opportunity for not only CMS, but the industry, and most of all, it could be a great opportunity for our kids. And that is December 3rd through the 6th at the park. They're going to bus all the eighth graders in Charlotte-Mecklenburg to this event to explore career pathways. December 7th, Saturday, open to everybody, the public, coming down to the park, showcasing all of the above. So, hey, there it is. It's up to you now. Make it happen. And one of the big deals, here we go again. And never mind. I'll just leave it all on an upbeat and positive thing and stay off the negativity. But we've got to make great advantage of this, and we're going to do posts around it also on social media to make more people aware of it. But I will say this. We need industry to step up, step in front. This is a great opportunity to form a partnership and relationship with Charlotte-Mecklenburg School System. They're right here. They're asking for it. To make this event a success, we're seeking partners to provide hands-on experiences and career exploration opportunities. They're asking for it. So let's give it to them. This is a great opportunity. These opportunities don't come around often. So this is a great opportunity for industry to get involved. If you want more details, and you can reach out to Ray Terry, and I'm not hard to get a hold of. My cell number is on the aboutyourhouseradio.com website. There's ways to get in touch with me on puttoolsinschools.org. Hey, I'm easily gotten in touch with. I know we're busy. I know we are. We're just the number one excuse for all things. We're just too busy. Well, the only way we're going to remedy the busy problem is to train more kids, teach more kids. Wouldn't you say? I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know. But I think it's something we need to do.
You said Park Expo?
Park Expo on Independence Boulevard, right there beside Bojangles Arena. Plenty of free parking. Plenty. That's what they said anyway. They said free parking because normally they charge.
Well, there should be. It's a big space.
You darn right. There's a lot of parking down there. But and Cale Hallman and crew going to be there. McGee Brothers, I'm sure, will have Star Electric to play. CETI, Carolina's Electrical Training Institute, along with IBEW. They're consistently at every event we do or reach out. We need HVAC contractors. And once again, I wish it could be discussed next week at their meeting. Guys, we've got to step up. These kids need us. And I am asking also if there's any retirees. Is that a good word? People who've retired and want to seek purpose.
Yeah, retirees is a good word.
Good word. Okay, cool. I could use some help in teaching kids at these nonprofit events that we're collaborating with. And it's a wonderful opportunity to address kids who need the attention, who frankly need to love and need to learn because they love learning. And that's something I've learned here in the past 3 weeks working with these groups is how much they really, really want to learn. And once you get through the introduction stage and learn to talk and communicate with these kids, wow, look at the possibilities. And I've noticed it. And Uncle Ray shows up and they all call me Uncle Ray and give me the respect that we need as adults teaching. And it's just been a great experience. And I've enjoyed it. And the kids are enjoying it. That's what's so neat is to watch how they absorb, how they learn, and they move forward with their life. And, and you can tell, once again, they've never been exposed to these type things at all. And here's the funny thing. I talked earlier about the mentors in this. They don't know it either. And that's amazing because they're just like, well, they are. There's not one. Well, there's two of them that are old enough.
There's breakthroughs for all ages.
Yeah, it's truly amazing how you see. You interact with them and light bulbs go off. You feel the empowerment of it all, and it's just it's a beautiful thing, But I'm up against the clock here. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about another. I got a lot of irons in the fire. You can tell I'm passionate and crazy and nuts. People often say, "When are you going to retire?" Retire? What's that? I don't believe in retirement. As long as God put me on this planet, we should have purpose.
You're not going to be a retiree.
No, I'm not a retiree. I'm as retireed as I'm going to get right now, sitting here. Yesterday, some boys asked me, why I do radio? Why do you do radio? I'll talk about that when we get back. Why do I wake up every Saturday morning? I often ask, why do you do it, Richard? We'll talk about it when we get back. You want to?
Sounds good to me.
Let's talk about it. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about that and much, much more. Come on back the other side of the break. More about your house right here on Fox Sports Charlotte.
More about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Go outside and take a look at your home. Are the gutters doing their job? The number one enemy to your home is water. Most homes are built with small, inadequate gutters and small downspouts. ABS Insulating has a division of the company that does nothing but gutter services. All gutter services: cleaning, maintaining, repair, new downspouts, replacement, and new gutters with many types available. They're a leader when it comes to gutter protection. Call ABS Insulating today, 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
Hi, Roddy Player here with Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. Do you ever wonder how a local, family-owned business can compete with the big box national chain stores? It's simple. As part of North America's largest buying group, we have over $15 billion in buying power. We buy products at great prices from more manufacturers than any chain store, period, and we pass those savings on to you. So buy local and save more at Queen City, where you'll always find the right product, right price, and real answers guaranteed.
The professionals at Kilo Exterminating Company have over 70 years of experience in pest control. Throughout the years, they always pride themselves on maintaining the highest standard of quality and customer service, with every technician being state certified. And moisture readings are standard with every inspection. Their top priority is ensuring your home is free from pests such as ants, mosquitoes, termites, and any other pests wreaking havoc on your home. That's Kilo Exterminating at 704-333-9855 or online, kilo.biz. That's 704-333-9855.
John DeLand here, manager at Crowntown Cannabis, Charlotte's original CBD and hemp resource, where the staff can help you with any questions or concerns. All of our products are third-party tested for purity and quality: oils, edibles, Delta-9, topical creams, vapes, THCA flower, and products to help with the pets. Visit our new South End store at 115 Park Avenue in the South End. All 4 of our Charlotte area stores are open 7 days a week. Check online for the store near you. That's crowntowncannabis.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Before the break, what were we talking about? Talking about everything. No,
we're talking about how much you're going to tell them how you love radio.
No, guys, I met some of a guest coming up, and 2 kids, 120, 123, but they're passionate. They're really good at what they do, and they build custom stairways, and they're absolutely amazing kids. And I say kids because they're 20 and 23. But they met me for lunch yesterday and really enjoyed spending time with them. I met them there again at a NARI meeting. And great kids. They sat down with me at the NARI meeting, and we got talking. And yesterday, so they called me and asked me for lunch. So I went out there and met them. And what's so funny is I says, what do I owe this occasion? And they said, and I says, we need wisdom. I said, whoa, I don't know if you came to the right guy, but I'm honored. You know, the bottom line is they're two kids, and they're great. They're great at what they do. They're in their third generation of a family that came here from Europe. Slavic, is it?
Yeah, Slavic, like Slovakia.
Yes, over in that area. That's not the country, but it's somewhere between Ukraine.
Right. It's
and
like
Russia.
It used to be Czechoslovakia.
Something, yeah. But anyway, they were good kids. But anyway, he asked me, he says, why do you do radio? Why you do radio?
Because I love it.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing. I love doing radio. I don't know why. I love talking. I always have. Got in trouble for talking most of my life. Still getting in trouble for talking, you know, still. But that's okay. I mean, that's who I am. But I mean it out of love and care. I don't mean it out of being right or, you know, and that's something I on the radio here, I will say this. I feel like it's important that somebody speak on behalf of those who can't. I'm not afraid to step up and tell the truth. Now, it's my truth as I know it, not anyone else's, and I don't expect anyone to ever believe a word I say. My mission is to make you think. And if what I say on this show makes you think and makes you do research and find out the facts, then I've done my job. And I tell you out of love. I don't tell you to be right. I'm not here to preach my story, although I do frequently, I know. And I know I do that. However, that's the entertainment side, good or bad or whatever it's worth, okay? But the point I'm trying to make here is I don't tell you anything unless I've done research. I don't tell things just to alarm you, be right, or put fear in you. I tell you to make you aware, to bring the information to the forefront. Now, in this day and era where who do you believe, what do you believe, my God, the media, the TV has all been weaponized.
The misinformation era.
Yeah, we're totally living in a bunch of, to me, it's a bunch of mud. And when it dries up, all we want is more water. Stir it back up. Well, I don't like that way of life. I really don't. I would prefer to just deal with the truth. The truth sucks. For the most part, this day and time. I'm sorry to say that. I really am. I hate it. But we can fix it, just like we're talking about North Carolina mountains. Love for our fellow man and our God will get us through anything collectively as a group of people. And that's the way we're made. All the other stuff, this selfishness and for me, which we've become due to our smart technology, cell phones, and all the computerization and technology we have. Matter of fact, I just got a call from somebody during the break. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you've heard him. He's been here on the show. And he said, Ray, I tell you, AI, I think it's going to be the death of us. But it is some cool stuff. He said, it is really cool. He said, but it's scary. Yep, it sure is. When you get computers thinking for humans, taking the human element out of it, then you're messing with Mother Nature, and that's a law. That's a God law we can't break.
Let's just stop before the damage is done.
It's
already started, but
it's already way. AI has been here in existence, folks, for probably 30 years. It's just we ain't known about it. We haven't known it. There's big one, and I'm gonna give you a hint. There's one event that happened in history some 23 years ago that AI was involved with in a big way. But I'm not mentioning what that event was. You figure it out. But the technology that is available to us today is frightening to me because it distorts reality. And that's, you can't mess with nature. You shouldn't. That's just a God law. Look at every time you do. You won't beat it. It'll win every time. Every single time. You don't play with Mother Nature. You can't do it. And that gets into the medical arena, anything, changing your bodies, changing your mindsets through weaponization of 5G, all the technology that's apparent and running rampant in our culture today. Is it good or is it bad? I don't know. I don't like it all. I think what it's done to, we're all too busy. We're all overstimulated. We're all hyped up all the time, got things to do, got places to go, busy. But yet we can't get anything done. We can't get anything done.
Brent commented 9/11, so he said it for you.
Brent?
Yeah.
No, Brent commented on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But, I mean, all you got to do is pay attention and open your mind to the possibilities. But they don't want you to do that either. That's called critical thinking. We don't want that. Oh, no. So, anyway, life is beautiful. I love it. People are great. All we need to do is just simmer down and love each other. Spread the love, right, Christian? Spread the love.
That's right.
That's
Spread a little love.
Well, and on another note, we talk about I've talked about all the irons in the fire that I have going on. Not me. It's a we thing, because I cannot in any way make all this happen without other people. That's why I'm reaching out and saying, folks, whatever you need to do to get involved with our kids in our education system to make it better for the future. Now, you can accept what is if you know what is, but you need to know what is. And once again, there is a free documentary screening this morning going on right now. Right now. As a matter of fact, they're 30 minutes into it. 13501 South Tryon Street at Christ the King Lutheran Church. Hope people enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. Okay. I want to talk about another event we've got on docket, and that's Digital Edge TV. I just read, and I'll read it again, because this to me this is like a home run. This event coming up on December 3rd through the 6th, and all day on Saturday, December 7th. And Sam, if you're listening to me, December 7th, think about that day, Saturday, down at the park, about setting up a TV podcast. Anyway, something to think about. It just came to me. But December 3rd through the 6th, this is what one of the administrators of CTE said. To make this event a success, we are seeking partners to provide hands-on experiences and career exploration opportunities. They're asking for it. What an open door invitation to the trades to get in front of kids. Once again, okay, Digital Edge TV, that's one way. We've got an opportunity to get involved, you as a company, be it heating and air, be it plumbing, be it electrical, be it concrete, be it drywall, be it whatever your trade is, whatever the construction need, labor need you have. Opportunity, open door. All you got to do is go online, Google CMS Endless Possibilities event. Google it. And if you need further information on that, you can reach out to me. I have it. No problem. I'll be glad to forward you this email, because honestly, they're not doing a good job of getting the information out. It is not on the CMS website yet. Wish it was, but it's not, because I checked. The CTE website, it's not posted on that website yet either. But I'm just throwing up things to let people know. But there's a lot of openings for those days. Okay, that's an opportunity. My job here, one of the missions for Put Tools in Schools is to be a resource, to be a connector. That's what I'm doing right now. And the official voice of Put Tools in Schools is this radio show. I mean, we need something, right? Anyway, another iron in the fire. Digital Edge TV. What's that all about? Well, what we want to do is develop a TV show. Now, it's TV, but it will be streamed and online, of course, via podcast, what have you. And it will be a podcast of people in the trades, business owners, people involved in electrical, plumbing, you name it, automotive, whatever it is. But have a 45-minute to an hour-long video production around the trades. Each show would be a different trade, be it plumbing, like I said, electrical, whatever. And we will interview people within the industry around all the pathways and opportunities in that particular trade. Now, we also attach a curriculum to that show via the guys producing it, Sam Matero, and he was a teacher. He's done this up in Pennsylvania, and it worked out well. I've mentioned it several times. But we can't do this without industry showing up and being a part of it, investing in it. It's a very inexpensive approach, and teachers can download these productions, Digital Edge TV shows, around particular trades and show it in their classroom to students as career pathways and possibilities. Wow. Now, how do we do that? Well, first, we've got to get a backlog of shows. Second, they'll be posted on several websites, including puttoolsinschools.org, and to where it's available to education, be it homeschool networks, be it public education, be it charter schools, be it whatever. It will be there. Now, how will they know? We've got to market. We talk about donations. What do we need money for? Marketing. Back in the mid-'70s, it started marketing college. You wasn't going anywhere to be a success if you didn't go to college. Right? Right? And the corporate America put their fist down and said, everybody will have a degree. And sure enough, they started a movement. And that movement is strong today because kids don't know what they're going for, but they're going to college, which is fine if it works. What do you mean if it works? They're educated for what? Come on, you got to have direction and a plan. So anyway, Digital Edge TV. I need support. We need support. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. And all these initiatives, and there is a lot of things going on around all this trade shortage, labor shortage, workforce development, all of those things. There's a lot of happenings. And there again, where are they? Who knows about them? How do you get to them? Make sense? We're covered up with information, but are we getting the information? How do you get information now? You Google it, I guess. How do you find something? Is that the best way? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, Google usually.
Google it. And if it shows up, hey, bingo, we did it. So this is just another way that we can get in front of children, students, and teach them of the possibilities and career pathways, because they do not know they exist. They do not know they exist unless we tell them, because the schools are not making these students aware of these career pathways. Everything's around college and higher education. That's changing little by little, but once again, they're asking for help. Who is they? Our education system. Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools are asking. That CMS Endless Possibilities event coming up. Put toolsinschools.org on the events page. It will be posted there Monday and have all the connection you need. Okay, there you go. All right. Talking about planning. We talked about planning earlier. Uncle Red called and, every job needs to be planned. I want to share a story with you. And I've talked about this many times. A lot of homeowners, since COVID, a lot of homeowners have decided to take on contracting or DIY projects themselves, which I totally endorse. I'm totally all in when it comes to DIYs. I think it's fantastic that any homeowner, male, female, partnerships, whatever, gets involved and fixes up your house. That's paradise to me. That's heaven. That's your castle. That's your domain. That's your place, your kingdom. Why not improve it? Although, if you're going to improve it, turn your TV off. Don't believe everything you see on that stupid TV, especially when it comes to HGTV and all that.
So I guess I shouldn't have used that sledgehammer on my wall yesterday.
No sledgehammer. You know what's funny? I don't even know where my sledgehammer is, my big one. My big sledgehammer, I think I know where it's at, but I'm not sure because it's been forever since.
The warehouse, you don't have it there?
It's there. I just don't know where exactly. Every other tool, if you ask me. Oh, by the way, speaking of my group of West Boulevard Ministries kids and mentors, what was funny this past week, we're talking about tools. Planning is a tool, by the way, but talking about tools, I took my tool bag in, just the way my tool bag is, with all my tools in it. Because every job I go to, every job I work on, I'm going to take my tool bag in because it's got all the tools 90% of the tools I need to do about any job. Like this afternoon, I'm going to go fix a drippy faucet. Well, I'm going to take my tool bag in because it's got all the tools I'm going to need in it. So just take it all in there. I put it up on the table the other night and started jerking tools out. So what's this? What's this? What's this? A pipe wrench. You know what a pipe wrench is?
Yeah, I have an idea.
But you really don't know. See,
but
you really don't know.
I'm not really.
I held up a pipe wrench. Nobody knew what it was. They said a wrench. Well, yeah, it's a wrench. And a basin wrench. Now as I talk about tools, I want you to make notes here because these are the tools that you need in a toolbox in your house or a tool drawer. Have you got a drawer in your kitchen or somewhere with tools and stuff?
Yeah, we do.
See, everybody should have one. It's like, where's your drawer? You go into a house, say, where's your drawer? What do you mean? I got lots of drawers. No, I'm talking about your tool drawer. You got a tool drawer, don't you? What do you mean? Well, you got a flashlight, batteries, a screwdriver, a hammer. Oh, yeah, right here.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I got it right here. So everybody's got a tool drawer or should have a tool drawer or a toolbox.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that a little more in depth. But right now we're going to talk about planning. Okay. If you're a homeowner and DIYer, and we're inundated with information and education, really, with the internet. There's no doubt about it. And I'm kind of processing how people use that mess. And when I say that mess, you pull up a YouTube video about something, and that's your teacher. That's your directive. That's your directions. That's your instructions. It's whatever you want it to be to guide you through a project, right? But I don't care how you plan it, what you think of it, who's going to play. But if you don't have the right equipment and tools, you can't do the job. Tools are essential. Now, you can plan any job you want. And in that plan, if you're going to do it yourself, you need to be totally aware of the equipment and tools you need to do it. Now, here's where it gets a little squirrely, too. Because with technology being all it is today, with the battery technology and the tools available to you, wow. They got some stuff out there now that make things just unbelievably easy. However, I'm old school. I come in the old school way. I don't have all the new fandangled tools.
Bells and whistles.
I don't have the lasers. I don't have, you laugh, but these things, or the electronic stud finder, Wallabot on my phone. I got a knuckle I tap the wall with, or I look for a receptacle, and then I find out which side of that receptacle the stud's on. Then I go 16 inches every 16, and I find it that way. You get your little smart device and you use it all you want. That's fine. And they work. It's great stuff. But my point to this is you don't need to go out and spend a ton of money buying new fandangled technology equipment when the old stuff. Back to measuring tapes. Yeah, you got to hear it again. 95%
Make that a segment.
No, 95% of everybody in my nonprofit groups right now cannot read a tape measure. And with both groups, obviously, we're teaching fractions. Because, they can read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, so on. But you can't read between 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, or 10 and 11. They can't read all them little dashes and dots between the inches. Those are called fractions. Not only do they not know how to read them, they do not know how to write them. Unbelievable. And I'm talking, I've interviewed now a lot of people, And we're talking about some college degreed people, adults, don't know how to read a tape measure. Now, if I ask you, Rishton, why do I need to read a tape measure? Is that a valid question?
Yeah, I think it's a valid question because you need to measure stuff.
Everything
around your house.
Even everything has dimension to it. Everything. Going right back to planning. You can't plan a job in your house thoroughly, correctly, without a tape measure. Now, pardon me if you think I'm wrong, but you can't. You can't do it. Not successfully. That's experience talking. However you come up with the measurements, if they're not right, and I'm talking right to 1/8 of an inch. Well, how can you find 1/8 of an inch difference if you can't read a tape measure? Duh. Let's talk about it. You want to? 704-227-8986 is the number. I'd love to talk to you. Call me up. Running out of things to say. Not really. Don't believe that for a minute. As long as I got a mouth, I have something to talk about. We got people. We got content. We'll be back with more about your house.
More about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Steve Helms here with the Al Metal Dryer Vent Corporation. The Al Metal Dryer Vent Corporation is a full-service dryer vent company. Regardless of the problem, we can handle it. Does your clothes dryer take longer than 45 to 50 minutes to dry a load? If so, you need your dryer vent cleaned or checked. The clothes dryer is the most inefficient appliance in the house and should never take longer than 45 to 50 minutes. Call Al Metal Dryer Vent today at 704-846-8368 or online at almetaldryervent.com. That's 704-846-VENT. Have you cleaned your dryer vent lately?
Owens Chimney Systems is known for all professional chimney services since 1989, including chimney cleaning, recommended annually, chimney evaluations and inspections, any and all chimney repairs and restorations, gas fireplace and gas fire log service, furnace cleaning, cleaning out one of the most overlooked appliances in the home. Get it done right the first time. That's Owens Chimney Systems at 704-554-9595. Or you can visit us online at owenschimneysystems.com.
Carolina Foundation Solutions is a family-owned and operated company and a licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina, providing foundation solutions from the mountains to the sandy shores of the coast. At Carolina Foundation Solutions, our objective is to help educate, offer guidance, and provide assistance. With over 200 years of combined experience, our family of experts are ready to help protect and repair your largest investments. If you have a problem, we have a solution. Call 877-883-4626 or online, carolinafoundationsolutions.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Before the break there, we're talking about planning and measuring and making sure things are right. This week, been a long time, but I was asked to go out and help assist in a bathroom remodel. Now, let me explain the scenario. Well, Dwell Inc. You've met Todd Chedester and crew here on the show. Well, Todd asked me to come out and tour a house, be a homemate. I'm a homemate. So I went out and met the homeowner with the team, and I listened, and there's a bathroom in their house that some contractor, somebody in the industry came out and took everything out. Well, they didn't take everything out because this big fiberglass shower unit that's still in there that's got to be cut up because it won't come out the door, obviously. That's, but the bathroom is not functional. There's no fixtures in it. It's gutted. Part of the walls are off down to the studs and various things. Okay. So they want it finished. They would like their bathroom put back together, which I can't say that I blame them. Now they do have another bathroom, and this house is an old dog crate.
Bathrooms are tricky.
Yeah, well, they can be. Anything can be tricky, just depending on the scenario, the situation. But this house is a dog crate. You know what dog crates are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Built in the late 20s, early 30s, or mid 30s, somewhere there around. So it's a old house, but in great shape. Really a good shape house over in Elizabeth section of town.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, over near Old Mercy Hospital.
Okay,
and I'll even get a little finer on it and say on 5th Street. Okay, so but it's a dog crate. And so we went in there, and I was asked to give a little hand on laying out, or I won't call it designing because of the design of the bathroom is already done. The layout, the plumbing's in there. We're not moving the plumbing. We're going to move the shower. We're not going to put a fiberglass shower back in this dog crate.
Right.
We're going to put something ceramic tile. I say ceramic, could be porcelain tile or tile surfacing in the bathroom to blend in with the age and the style of the house. So I went in there, point I'm going to here, we're planning a remodel. And I started with me. Why me? Because he asked me if I would go over there and work with her and listen to her and see what we could do with her bathroom. Well, there you go. We're starting this conversation. It's called communication. And I asked her some point blank questions about what she wanted, and then we nailed down all of her priorities and desires. And then I follow up with measuring the space to within 1/8 of an inch of accuracy. Now, why 1/8 of an inch? Because it's actual, it's real, it's what is. If you plan a job correctly on paper, with blueprints, call it a blueprint, call it a layout, call it whatever you want, but it must be accurate. It can't be a thought. Now, it can be if you're doing it yourself, but if you're going to relate that information to someone else, another tradesperson, another craftsman, another technician, call it what you want, then it must be accurate, or otherwise you're giving them bogus information.
Right, the wrong measurement.
You're giving them the wrong information. This is one of the reasons that I turned down some jobs in my past with remodeling, because I would look at the plan and then go in there and compare the plan to actual reality. And if it was wrong, if I've picked up on wrong 1 or 2, maybe 3 wrong things, I wouldn't do the job because it wasn't right. And there was things on that plan that won't work. What do you mean it won't work? An architect drew it. I don't care who drew it. This tub will not work and not leak because it doesn't have this and it doesn't have that. Well, okay. So he's wrong and he's right and you're wrong. Well, okay, call it what you want, but I ain't doing it because it won't work. So my point here is,
and then they'll say, well, why didn't it work? And then it'll be your fault.
No,
and then
I tell them up front why it doesn't work. Me, at my age, right, I tell all the story. I want you to know the facts, because when I go in there, I'll tell you this is going to be this and this is going to be that, if you're okay with that, because there's certain things in certain situations you can't change.
Right.
You have no control over it. You got to deal with it. And I deal with things. That's what I'm good at. Working it out, being resourceful, figuring it out. When we're done, you won't know it. That's the goal. Okay, planning, same thing. You've got to plan properly, accurately, realistically, truthfully on the real situation. Okay, now I just said a mouthful, didn't I? Who out there knows everything about that in today's world? Relatively speaking, contractor, no contractor, relative to the need, very, very few. That's what it's all about in the education world. Now, you can go on YouTube, you can go online, you can Google anything, and you can get your answers. No question about it. But do you know what you're talking about? Do you know what you're doing? You saw it on YouTube, but that didn't make you a specialist, or a professional in that field just because now you're willing to get. Now, before it's all over with, if you're attempting it, you'll be a lot smarter and a lot more educated in that task once you complete it. Back to learning. The only time you learn is when you apply.
And you fail.
When you fail. And if you don't plan correctly, you're failing.
It ain't going to be pretty.
Well, it can be. Listen, I've made those mistakes. Personally, back when I was in my 20s, early 30s, I would remodel a kitchen without any planning involved.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely insane, and I was guilty more than once, believe me. But then I got real good. Actually, this all changed in my late 20s. Then I changed and started drawing because I knew how to draw.
Right.
And knew after making tremendous mistakes, I drew everything, because I knew. And that's why I'm talking about it right now.
Drafting in high school?
I was the top student in drafting.
That makes sense.
2 years in a row. I love to draw. I'm a conceptual drawer. I mean, I can see it in my mind. I really can. I can walk in certain situations and I see it. I just see the job. I see the finished product.
Well, that's a gift in itself.
Well, it has been. Now, that I didn't say every job, but that bathroom, for example, I went in there and said immediately, I know what we're going to do in here.
You have a vision of what you want it to look like.
Around what she wants. This ain't about what I want.
Well, true, but
some designers, though, will go in and design what they want you to have.
Exactly.
I'm not that guy. I'm going to design what the cost matters. Do you want to tear this thing completely out and redo it? No, we don't want to do that. We want to use the same footprint.
Isn't bathroom remodeling the most expensive?
Bathrooms are the most expensive room to remodel in a house per square foot. Yes. No doubt.
Because it would seem like it was.
Baths and kitchens, not naturally, and most people know this, they're the most expensive rooms to tackle. Without a doubt. Anytime you do plumbing, like moving a washer and dryer.
It's tricky.
You got to put a drain there. You got to run a dedicated 220 line for your dryer, a 30 amp circuit. You've got to have plumbing. You got to have vent. You got to have hot and cold. It's a lot of stuff. And people say, why is it so expensive? Because we're coming from X and Y to Z, and all this.
Right.
But anyway, there again, planning. Planning is absolutely essential. And now every aspect of that plan needs to be on there. Electrical, plumbing, cabinetry, tile. Once you have a plan, then you need to fill all the spaces. What I mean by that, you need to make selections. What kind of selections? Plumbing fixtures, mirror, lights, floor, tile, tub, fixtures, commode, water closet. Everything, painting, colors, finishes, everything needs to be listed in detail. Now, ultimately, you want that job complete, 100% complete, if possible, on paper, with all selections made prior to ever starting. That's what you should do.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally, that's your perfect job. Now you say, well, can I change my mind? Sure, you can do whatever you want to do. It just adds time to the job.
Right.
No, but if you have a plan and you even stage it, this is the ultimate when you can stage that job, meaning you buy all the materials for that job prior to beginning. We talked about this when COVID hit and the material shortage came on and a way you could stage. And it made some contractors much better because you had to do this in order to pull off the job the best you could do.
Right.
But if you stage a job, meaning you order all the materials and you've got a warehouse, a garage, a dry, let me say it again, a dry, room, because these things need to acclimate to temperatures and don't need to be in moist,
Right.
humid areas. Okay.
For sure.
But if you could stage all the materials for that job in one room, well, then the job's done basically on paper completely. You've got all the materials. Now it's time to do it. Let's do it. Now, I'm not saying you can do that on every job, but if you could, that's optimum.
Be a lot easier, though.
Well, you've got all the stuff it takes right there. You're ready to go. Then you call your tradespeople if you're subcontracting it out or you have a GC doing it. The GC is going to do all this for you. That's his job, unless you have a different relationship with him. And by the way, when you can hire somebody in construction. It doesn't necessarily have to be a GC. It can be a consultant. If you're going to play by all the rules, meaning you're going to get it inspected, permitted, and all that, that's okay, fine and dandy. But that's got to be in the plan. And you've got to allow for, and I'm going to come back on the top of the hour and tell you the story that happened to me this week, which exemplifies what I'm talking about. Less stress, ease of performance, ease of production. It's really easy once you know how. All right, we're going to take a break. 704-227-8986, planning. And then once you got the plan, who's going to do it? Who's going to perform all those tasks involved? Plumbing, heating, cooling, carpentry, drywall finishing, tile installation. Who's going to do all that? OP, other people. Let's take a break here. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app. Stream us live. Yeah. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and soon to be others. We'll be back. Come on. We'll be here. planning. All right, welcome back. Little Alan Jackson there. Love that song. We're talking before the break about planning and execution and all that stuff. And I was going to tell you a story about this week. I was called a couple weeks ago about a downdraft vent for a kitchen. A homeowner doing the job themselves, being their own contractor kind of thing, calling in the tile guy, calling in the top guy, calling in the cab, all the different trades. And he called me last Monday and says, Ray, we got you set up for Thursday. I said, really? What's happening? And he says, well, they're coming in here to do this Wednesday, and they're coming in here to do the tile on Thursday. They're coming in here to do this on Friday, and all this stuff. And I said to myself, here we go. It ain't going to happen that way. Sure enough, I was put back till Friday, and then I frankly just kind of chuckled to myself, called the homeowner, says, when you talked to me Monday, I knew everything you told me was a bunch of crap because you're dealing with OP and you're cramming too much in a short window. You're stacking them based on what they tell you they can do, and they're lying to you because they won't do what they say they're going to do. I played this. This ain't my first rodeo, and I've been here too many times, and it's okay. But I'm not coming to your house at all this week. I'm going to come next Tuesday. And the Tuesday in which I come, I must be in there by myself. I will not work with a plumber. I will not work with an electrician or tile people in the room. I won't do it to them. It's not about me. It's about us. I can't work good around them, and they can't work good around me, and we should not be working together in the room. And I hope you listen to me if you're a DIYer and you hear what I'm saying. Respect the tradespeople. Now, granted, it works both ways, and they should respect your time. So beware. And, so he stacked them on top of each other. Don't do that. You should allow plenty of time and hopefully find the right contractors to do your job, be it electrical, plumbing, tile, or whatever. But I got a caller now, Miss Angie from McCoy's Smokehouse and Saloon. Good morning, Angie. How are you, dear?
Good morning, Ray. I'm great. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great.
Wonderful.
I'm glad you called. Talk to me.
Well, thanks.
What's going on? First of all, let's talk about McCoy's, okay?
Okay.
Are y'all still doing that Thursday thing?
Actually, that's over. It ended this past Thursday, so that was the last.
Well, I'm sorry. A day late and $1 short. Now, you have specials on Sunday, don't you?
We have some great drink specials on Sundays. We have the $3.50 mimosas, $5 Bloody Marys, and we've got $4.25 Yuengling drafts. This month on Sunday.
When did you get Yuengling on draft?
We just got it.
I was just saying you didn't have it 2 weeks ago.
No, we just got it
because I bought it in a can. That's my particular brand of beer these days.
Okay, well, wonderful. We got it for you.
Cool. Good. All right. Now, y'all are doing a special event, silent auction or something next week?
Yep. So November the 10th, we're doing that silent auction for Purple Heart Homes, where you can come out. It's going to be between 1 and 5, so you can come out and support Purple Heart Homes and bid on some really cool items. We got lots of really cool stuff, including an opportunity to be a guest on your show.
Yes, I've agreed to have to give 1 hour if you qualify, meaning you're not going to use this show for a platform to come preach or sell. You can come and be a guest and talk about your passion, your desires, your business, whatever. I welcome it. So, 1 hour right here on About Your House, and I'm glad to do it. And I need to get you some logo too and some artwork.
That would be great.
And I'll get it to you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
So, what other items do you have? Several items now. I mean, you getting something together?
Oh yeah, we got some really cool stuff. We got I've got some artwork from some local artists, a couple local artists here. There's some artwork from veterans as well. We've got coolers. We've got all kind of really just cool stuff.
Cool.
So you'll just have to come out and see.
That's
check us out in our parking lot.
November 10th, which is a Sunday.
Before 1 to 5.
1 to 5 at McCoy's Smokehouse and Saloon. What's y'all's address? It's Old Pineville Road. I know that.
It's 4630 Old Pineville Road.
But just Google it. It's just a corner of Woodlawn and Old Pineville Road, basically, right beside Bojangles there, right behind, tucked in behind Bojangles there.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff.
It's great stuff. We got lots of other things going on as well. You can always check out our Facebook page to keep up to date on all the new stuff. We are going to be open on Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Smoked turkeys?
Yep. Smoked turkeys. So you can actually come in on Thanksgiving Day between 1 and 5. It's $25.99. You get smoked turkey, dressing, 3 sides, and a dinner roll.
Not a bad gig. That sounds good to me. So y'all are open on Thanksgiving Day. Wow. Serving smoked turkey.
Yep. And we're actually you can also order like a whole turkey, smoked turkey.
Awesome.
And we're taking pre-orders for those until by November 18th. So we have to get those in as well.
That's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. That's good stuff. I look forward to it. All right. Anything else we can do for you guys?
Just if everybody could just come out and support Purple Heart Homes, it's for a really good cause. We love our veterans. And we've got lots of things going on prior to it as well. You know, you could come out and purchase a swag bag. It includes a $25 or $20 McCoy's gift card and some McCoy's merchandise and a whole bunch of other fun swag in the bag. And you just make a donation of $35 or more, and you can get one of those nice little bags as well.
All right. Folks, that's McCoy's Smokehouse and Saloon at the corner of Old Pineville Road and Woodlawn Road. Go down. Great daily specials. Their pot roast, make a bulldog break his chain. Good stuff. I'm telling you. So, and their wings are super too, if you're a big wing fan. So, So I highly recommend. And thank you for what you've done. Thanks, Ryan, for me. And we appreciate you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ray. We'll see you soon.
I'll be there. You bet.
Okay.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
That's McCoy Smokehouse and Saloon next Sunday, silent auction starting at 1 o'clock. Go down and Purple Heart Homes, serving, honoring the veterans and great benefits, a great program. So plan on attending. All right. We were talking about planning and what execution and what have you in a bathroom. And I was talking about stacking. And what I mean by this is, I'll give you another example. People call me and say, can you install a range? Sure. Or can you install a cooktop? Can you install a range hood? Sure. Well, they're going to deliver it Monday the 4th. Can you be here on the 5th? No. Why? I mean, when can you come? When you have the appliance. They say, well, wait, they promised me. Oh, that makes everything good right there. I got a promise. They're going to deliver. They promised they would deliver it on Monday. Well, ma'am, what if they deliver it and it's damaged? There goes my schedule for Tuesday because I can't install the damaged good. Oh, I see what you're saying. And plus, they promised you it'd be there Monday. And if they call you Monday and say, I'm sorry, we can't deliver it until Wednesday because of blah, 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 blah. Well, see, now we're here. See, my bottom line is when you see it, when you can put your hand on it, when you know it's a good product, call me. Now, I can tentatively say we're going to get to you Wednesday, but I'm not going to put it in concrete because it may not happen. Just like last Monday when this homeowner told me we'd be ready for you Thursday. I knew then he wasn't going to be ready for me Thursday. He didn't, but I did. And I didn't share it with him because I didn't want to have the conversation. Well, they promised me. Those promises don't mean squat. Sorry. It's just the way it's played. And I played in this game a lot more than you have. Now, look, I'm not here to be cantankerous or mean or down and dirty or what, I just want to be real. I want to deal with what is. And what is reality, okay? And my time, my schedule, So, we can't bounce around like balls, So anyway, so I just lay it out. And that's just the way things are. And not only with me, it's with everybody. I'm just telling you what is. But the best way to do any job, remodeling, be it kitchen, bathroom, addition, whatever, is to stage and plan thoroughly. Thoroughly. And when you sign a contract with somebody, you better put a time frame in it. It would be advantageous to do so. Now, things are always apt to change. Always. Change is inevitable. Change is the one constant we have in life that we just got to deal with. Like this morning, I had a guest scheduled to show it, well, like yesterday. Since yesterday morning, this show just blew all to pieces. The people who were committed to come, they didn't come for whatever reason, and they had their reasons. One had COVID, and the other one had a family event to attend, whatever. And then the other person that was going to come had an emergency come up with their daughter. My point, things change. Things happen. You just bend, flex, and be patient, loving, caring, and say, let's keep trucking. Let's keep going. And that's what we've got to do. So, I mean, things change. So we'll change with them. However, we want to plan as much as possible. Planning a job, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And that's just the way it is. And I don't care what it is. And another example, this happened to me lately. If I've got to be responsible for you or anything to do with you, it's important that I know where you stand and we communicate. If you're going to make me a part of your life, if I commit to being a part of your life, like teaching, mentoring, or anything else, then don't you think it's only fair that you communicate with me your intentions and your whereabouts and directives every day if you're supposed to be with me? That's respect. That's just professionalism. That's respect, honor, and dignity, right? Isn't that the way it is?
It should be.
But if you don't do that, then why am I giving you my time? See, it takes communication to make relationships work and be effective. And you can't have it otherwise. It doesn't work. And especially if you're dealing with someone's time, you need to value their time. And you know what? In remodeling, construction, it's a two-way street. Everything I preached about communication in relationships are right there on the table. And one of the things we mentioned early on in this show, if your directives and your decisions are based all around money and saving money, you're screwing up because it won't go according to plan that way. I'm sorry, it won't. And I've just played it too long. Now, granted, we need to know what the budget is. We need to know what the parameters are, and we need to try to stick to them, granted. But if your decisions are all based around money and saving $1, job's not going to go good because you're going to get hicked up along the way, all around money. And you need
adds up.
And you need to plan that accordingly as well. So that's what remodeling's about. If you get a professional contractor, as we've discussed many times on this program, how they operate, what procedures they go through. And believe me, the first month of relationship into a new remodeling project is all on paper and all mental because it's all in the planning, staging, getting it ready, preparation. Just like painting a room, what's the most important? Preparation. But right now, I got to take a break. 704-227-8986. You are listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. We'll be back with more.
Out more about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Hi, Roddy Player here with Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. Do you ever wonder how a local, family-owned business can compete with the big box national chain stores? It's simple. As part of North America's largest buying group, we have over $15 billion in buying power. We buy products at great prices from more manufacturers than any chain store, period, and we pass those savings on to you. So buy local and save more at Queen City, where you'll always find the right product, right price, and real answers guaranteed.
John DeLand here for Crowntown Cannabis. We at Crowntown Cannabis care about you and your health. All of our products, from edibles to topical creams, are all third-party tested for purity and quality. 4 locations, open 7 days a week to help you with any concerns you may have. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can call us at 704-412-7121 or online at crowntowncannabis.com.
Carolina Foundation Solutions is a family-owned and operated company and a licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina, providing foundation solutions from the mountains to the sandy shores of the coast. At Carolina Foundation Solutions, our objective is to help educate, offer guidance, and provide assistance. With over 200 years of combined experience, our family of experts are ready to help protect and repair your largest investments. If you have a problem, we have a solution. Call 877-883-4626 or online, carolinafoundationsolutions.com.
The professionals at Kilo Exterminating Company have over 70 years of experience in pest control. Throughout the years, they always pride themselves on maintaining the highest standard of quality and customer service, with every technician being state certified. And moisture readings are standard with every inspection. Their top priority is ensuring your home is free from pests such as ants, mosquitoes, termites, and any other pests wreaking havoc on your home. That's Kilo Exterminating at 704-333-9855 or online, kilo.biz. That's 704-333-9855.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Hey, Richard, what do we do tonight? What's tonight? What do we do?
I don't know. You got me.
Time.
Oh, yeah. Daylight
we
savings.
fall back an
Yeah,
hour.
fall back an hour.
We fall back an hour tonight. We said.
Thank you for reminding me. I
well,
forgot.
you know, I didn't even put it on my notes today, but tonight is the night we all wake up an hour ahead or an hour before, whatever. We fall back an hour tonight.
Right.
Fall back, spring forward. There we go. Yeah. So we're going to fall back an hour tonight. And as always, this time's a great time to change the batteries in your smoke alarms, to change your batteries in your clocks, to change your filters in your AC or heating and cooling system. You know, all the little things.
Fireplaces.
Well, yeah. Fireplaces are a little different, but yes. Fireplaces should have been scheduled way before now, because if you got fireplace issues, you need to go ahead and call Owens Chimney Systems, because you need to get on a list. Like they're short of help too. They could use technicians as well, and they've got schedules to meet. We talked a lot about scheduling and the effectiveness. Well, I can tell you this about Owens Chimney Systems. When you schedule with them, they'll show up. They'll be there. One of the best companies I know of, professionalism, they're every technician certified, great company, great services, and they do a good job. So they're great. So, but on your fireplace, gas fireplaces, gas venting, chimney cleaning, fireplace cleaning, anything to do with your hearth, fireplace, Owens Chimney Systems, settling, whatever. And also for settling chimneys, you may want to consider tuning in. Let me give you the date specifically. Not next week, but week after next. We've got Carolina Foundation Solutions on the show talking about foundations, the problems around foundations and what can be done about them. With all this water damage up in western North Carolina, you're going to hear a few stories from them. Now, I will be out of town on November 16th. George Hobel, past guest host or co-host here. George Hobel's going to sit in for me. He's going to host Carolina Foundation Solutions as they come on the show and talk about, foundation solutions. A certified contractor in both North and South Carolina, from the hills to the coast. They can fix any problem you might have with foundation, slabs, you name it, flat work, whatever. They can put it back in place and take care of the issues at hand. So they'll be talking about that. But I was talking about fireplaces, Owens chimney. A lot of fireplaces settle over the years and pull away from the house. Well, if you want that thing jacked back up into place, Carolina Foundation Solutions can do just that, if possible. Some of them not, but you can stabilize it. You can keep it from going any further. But most of the time, they can jack it back into place. But yeah, there you go. So, but as we enter, the time savings here, tomorrow's going to be daylight earlier, which is a good thing, because when I got up this morning, it was dark. It's dark. I wanted to see light.
I don't know. I don't like it when it gets dark early, though.
I don't like the 5 o'clock dark 30 time. No, I don't. I'm not crazy about it getting dark early. But hey, it is what it is. I wish it'd stick to one time year round.
I was about to say, what is your stance on?
I would go into the savings mode. In other words, stay where we are now,
right,
all the time. I like the daylight to end.
I would agree.
I like a longer day. But what's the shortest day of the year, daylight wise? Do you know? Not you too. Come on. First day of winter. How's that? Does that help?
December 21st.
There you go. Bingo.
I was thinking, but I second guessed myself.
No, December 21st is the shortest lit day of the year. What's the longest?
June 21st, right?
There you go. My son's birthday. Yeah, first day of summer. Yep. That's the longest.
Cool.
That's the longest day. So we're entering upon the shortest day of the year, December 21st, just around the corner. And, there you go. There you go. All right, we talked about planning and remodeling and all this stuff, but I also said, big caveat in there about, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what task you're trying to complete. If you don't have the equipment nor the tools to do it, you're kind of at a loss. You can borrow tools, you can rent tools, you can go buy tools cheap. And there's a resource for tools that I'm going to mention to you, because Christmas is right around the corner. And you can't buy a more practical, beneficial gift for your family and loved ones if, in fact, they don't have it, as tools. Now, you say, why would I give tools? I gave my stepdaughter, when she was like 14 years old or 16, I can't remember, she was in her adolescence, somewhere there around, a toolbox. And that toolbox had an adjustable wrench, a pair of pliers, a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a hammer, a pair of channel locks, basics. It had a measuring tape. Yep, she could read that rascal too. She had a measuring tape. It had all the basic tools a homeowner would be required to have. And I taught her a few things about those tools, as I did my wife at that time. We talked about it. Well, me and the mother of my stepdaughter and my second wife, we had a conversation just the other day, because we still stay in touch and we're super friends, and that's great. I love it. So we talk, and she says, Jesse still got that toolbox you gave her, and she uses it. She says, she still got that toolbox. I said, that's awesome. She said, Ray, and I can't tell you all the things that you taught me through the years we were together. I said, well, that's great. And my point here is you can't do anything without tools and basic knowledge of how to operate with those tools. And I tell you this again, because I've witnessed kids. It's like when you put a tool in a kid's hand or a grown-up's hand that's never handled it before, good Lord, do they fumble and they jiggle and they're unsure of themselves and they just don't know what to do. Well, there's a simple way to get beyond that. Use them. Use the tools. Figure out what they're used for.
Trial and error.
Just like the other night. But there's basic tools that every house should have. I talk about this every year. Now, with battery technology and battery tools being what they are today, every house needs a battery drill, reversible drill, variable speed, reversible drill. And I would go a step further. If you really want to get a jam up, nice, wonderful gift for that special someone. Now, I know this might sound a little crazy, even your wife. Now, I know men are saying, if I get my wife a drill, she'd throw me out. I think you might be surprised with some of them anyway, that if you gave them a drill, they may take it as a hint they need to do more around the house or whatever. But regardless, male, female, what gender, what sex, I don't care. Every household needs a reversible drill. But like I said, if you really want to get a nice one, get a hammer drill. Now, where would you buy a nice, affordable hammer drill? Well, I'm going to tell you, DeWalt's a great tool. Milwaukee's a great tool. But not every homeowner should spend that kind of money. Now, granted, if you've got it and you can afford it, by gosh, I'd go out and buy a DeWalt. Best value. However, Bauer Tools at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is a wonderful, wonderful store to buy homeowner-type tools. I bought, and I have to tell this story again, when I went out to Seattle on one of my visits to my good friend Mary, which I'm going to head out that way in a week. And when I went out there, she says, would you do me a favor? I got a list of things I want you to help me do while you're here. I said, fine, no problem. Love to do it. So I said, make me a list. Well, when I got there, I had me a list of about 7 items. Well, she didn't have no tools. Here we go. I mean, this is a prime story. She didn't have no tools. I said, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to go to Harbor Freight. She said, why are we going to Harbor Freight? I said, we're going to buy you a toolbox and some tools. She said, really? I said, really? I said, I can't do nothing here without tools. Well, I got measuring tape. Because of you, I went out and bought me a measuring tape. I said, well, fine, because she wanted to hang some pictures, right? So I said, okay, but we're going to Harbor Freight. So I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a small toolbox, bought all the things that I personally needed to accomplish her task or finish her task list. But I needed a drill. So I went and shopped, and they had this and it was a test for me because I wanted to see what kind of quality and tools they had. And, if I talk to a lot of people, they say, I wouldn't buy that trash. Well, I'm sorry. You don't have to. But it's great homeowner quality, and it works great. And to prove that, I bought a Bauer reversible drill, hammer drill. Okay, variable speed, reversible hammer drill. $74, I think, is what it cost. That same drill with DeWalt cost $160 something. Now, I'm not saying DeWalt's better. It is, to me, it's probably a better drill, but that Bauer I bought was fantastic. Came with a battery, a charger, the drill itself with a carrying case. Awesome. Great value. I went home to her place, and I used it, fixed all my stuff, worked great, and she still had, and I went out. Last time I went, she had something to do. I went and got her little toolbox and the hammer drill, the drill, and did some more things. But you can't do these things without toolboxes and tools. You can't do them. And there's another thing. Basic knowledge around your house is valuable. And here's another mission of the toolbox, or Put Tools in Schools. We want to have classes. We're developing a worker space over in North Charlotte. And that worker space is going to have some classes for you, the homeowners, and kids, students, whatever, to where we can teach basics. I was at one of these events last Tuesday, and I held up a P-trap. You know what a P-trap is, Riston?
I do not.
That's a shame. I mean, I know. I'm not calling you names.
No, I know. I'm just saying it is what it is.
But I held it up to these coaches. I said, what's this? Now, one of those men knew what the P-trap was. And I said, I'm not telling you. That's a class right there. I threw it back in my cart. I said, we'll talk about that another night. Because a P-trap, everybody has at least 3 in their house. If you got one bathroom, you got 2 P-traps in the bathroom. You got one in the commode. You got one under the sink. And then you got the kitchen. Okay, in your washer-dryer area, there's another one. So that's 4. If you got a washer in your house, that'd be 4 P-traps. P-traps are what the water goes in down the drain. And
Makes sense.
And it creates a loop down there and holds water. You know why it holds water? Prevents sewer gas from coming up into the house.
Okay.
Now I'll tell you another little secret since I'm throwing out little tidbits here.
Sure.
And I told this story a few weeks ago. A lady calls me. She said, Ray, there's an odor in my bathroom. Do you use that bathroom every day? No, not that particular bathroom. I says, right now, I want you to go run water down the sink and run water in your shower. She said, why? I said, because your traps are dry. How do you know that? Because you smell it. Because you told me you got a smell. That's sewer gas. Now, the water in a P-trap will evaporate over a period of time and or be sucked out with inefficient venting. In other words, when you don't have proper venting, I'm not saying it's detrimental.
What would it be, say, if we had one of our downstairs toilets, then the den, it kind of backs up to it. It has a little bit of a toilet smell sometimes.
Right.
But there's not a toilet in there.
It could be sewer gas.
That's what I'm
getting
asking.
back in. There's not a toilet in there. You told
Not
me
in the
bathroom.
den. In the den, it smells like that underneath, almost like it's coming from under
You're
the
on a
ground.
slab too, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're on a slab.
Yeah.
Yep. You getting some sewer gas leakage,
Okay.
probably around the seal of the commode.
That's
You
what I
probably got a
figured.
broken seal. Now, just because you got a broken seal doesn't necessarily. Now, that's beyond the trap. See, the trap is in the commode itself. It collects water in the bowl. That's why you have water in the bowl.
Right.
The trap's full. But have you ever gone into a bathroom and saw there's very, very little water in
Yeah.
it? Well, that's because it's been sucked out or either evaporated out over a period of time. But I've literally heard with the venting situation, it sucks water. Like some people call, true story. We've talked about this on the air. Their commode will bubble, gurgle.
God.
Well, when it gurgles, it's telling you it's sucking air. No, seriously,
Right.
the rest of the house isn't vented well. It's not vented properly, because if it was vented properly, it wouldn't do that. It's probably vented with a Studer vent, a shortcut way to vent something. Could be. I'm not saying it is, but it will literally suck the air out of the room and suck water out of the trap. That's true. It happens. And we had a long discussion with plumbers one day on the show when we were over in that other studio about that topic. And that's a fact. So back to P-traps. P-traps are to prevent sewer gas from coming in your house. In your situation,
Yeah.
and that toilet probably hadn't been taken up and resealed probably forever. And you probably got,
I'd say so.
you
Probably 40
got,
years.
You probably got a wax ring leak. I'm gonna call it a seal leak
Mhm.
below the commode.
Makes sense.
And that's probably what it is, I would guess, unless it doesn't have water in the trap. But then if it's used, which I'm sure it is, because it's the only bathroom you got downstairs that you use
Right.
all the time.
Correct.
Exactly. So, but to my point about tools, there's one tool that every household needs. Actually, they need 2 of them. They need a big one and a smaller one. That's a pair of channel locks. Pair of channel locks are adjustable pliers, basically, that you use in plumbing. And you need those. Now, granted, if you say, what for? Well, go to YouTube and figure out what you use them for. But you use it for plumbing, like to put drainage in and various things. I'm going to say this too. Plumbing is very, very easy to deal with, typically. Not all of it, but most of it. Like leaky drains below, that stuff's easy to fix. Commodes, water closets, the filling apparatus, very easy to replace. Flapper valves, very easy to replace. Matter of fact, we're going to give classes on that. because it's so simple. Matter of fact, right now, I tell you, people call me and say, Ray, my commode's running. What do you mean it runs? Well, in the middle of the night, I hear it filling up.
Yeah.
Well, it's your flapper valve. What do you mean? All right, tell you what, you got FaceTime? They say, yeah. I said, we're going to do this. We're going to fix it.
Didn't you do that with notes one time?
Huh?
You did that something like that with notes one time.
B-notes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. And I said, let's go. Let's play. He goes I said, take that tank lid off. I said, now look down there. I said, see that red thing? You're going to replace it. Oh, really? I said, that's your problem. It's leaking. And when it leaks, the water, that float on that filler tower over there comes down and it fills up again. He said, yeah, that's what it does. I said, it's because it's leaking. It's less than a $5 part, and it takes you all of maybe 3 minutes to fix it. That simple. And he's, wow, that's all there is. That's all there is. And you don't know how many times I've had that conversation.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's easy to fix. So, but there again, you can't do all this stuff. You don't have tools. You got to have tools. It's a requirement. So here we are at the holidays. What can you give that nephew, that daughter, that son, that relative, that uncle, that aunt? What could you give them? We'll ask them what kind of tools they got. And I know people feel silly, just like they feel silly talking about a career pathway in the trades. Only reason they feel silly because they don't talk about it in schools. It's like it's a foreign subject. But, and that's why nobody can fix anything anymore, because we're not teaching what tools are used for. The only tools they know in school is composition notebooks, notebook paper, and a pencil, or a pen, or a mechanical pencil. I don't know what they use anymore.
I was about to say, I don't even know if they use paper anymore at this point. Might have an iPad.
You're right. But I know one thing. They got some nice, dry eraser boards and what have you.
Yeah.
They got them computer boards now that are
smart boards.
Oh, good Lord. They're wonderful. I've used one last Monday at Francis Bradley Middle School.
Uh-huh.
I like that. I bought a whole pack of dry erasers. Didn't need them a bit.
Mm-mm.
Now I just went up there with this little thing and I started drawing.
Yeah, you started doing it.
Wow, this is awesome. Technology is a beautiful
First
thing.
time I saw those was middle school, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. But, back to tool, and, that board I was talking about, that's just another tool.
For sure.
Just another teaching tool.
Much better than that old chalkboard.
Golly, I loved it. And you just press the eraser button and it goes away.
Yeah.
Wow, that was easy. I love it. That's some awesome stuff. See, I am not advanced because I'm not out there in the world. But when I get out there, I'm like a kid too. I'm just a little old boy dressed up in men's clothes.
Well, we all are.
Yeah, I'm just a little bitty boy. That's all there is to it.
You and me both.
Yeah, and I don't want to grow up.
I don't either.
I want to stay childlike, That way I can communicate with them, except it drives me crazy. I can't stand telling somebody something 3 times.
Well, I can imagine with today's attention span that you have to say it a lot more than that.
My gosh. And then people say, Ray, you got to be patient. I'm 10 times, probably 20, 30 times more patient today than I was 20 years ago. I wouldn't have made it. And really today I don't really fit in today's culture. Don't do it. But I do know this for sure. Love conquers all. Absolutely conquers everything. Because once you get in front of these kids and they feel your love, you got them. And we need to love them, talk to them, not talk down to them, talk to them, and let them talk back and listen to what they say. That's where I get all my facts from kids.
They're scared too.
Fear is abundant. These kids are scared to fail.
Almost mute.
They're scared to fail. And even in a classroom the other week, I was listening to the teacher talk to the kids about failing, about how you don't want to fail.
Right.
Well, let's turn it around. And I did. And maybe I was out of line. I don't know. Like I say, my mouth will get me in trouble. She talking about not failing. I said, no, I'm sorry, kids. I got to differ. You got to fail. Get up to fail and learn from it. I said, do what you love to do. Screw up and learn every time you screw up. And if you fall forward. Fall forward. Get up and keep on going. But learn. Learn from every failure. And if you aren't failing, you're not doing, and you're not learning. So failing is the most beneficial learning tool you're going to have in life. Don't hate it. None of us want to do it. None of us want to fail.
No, for sure.
None of us do. But if you give it your all and your love and your passion, it's okay. It's okay to fail. So fail, but learn. And I've thrown you right in that fire before, haven't I, Rich?
Oh, for sure. I've failed a number of times on here. Dead air, whatever, you name it.
But see, that's how we learn. We get better. But we're real. We're not going to fake it. We're not going to be phony around it. We're going to face the reality of it and just deal with it and go forward.
For sure.
And that's what we do. People say, you don't rehearse anything? No. Why? What if you screw up? I'm human. How about that? Wow. It's okay. That's right. All right, we're going to take a break here. Last and final break of the show here. 704-227-8986. We're talking tools. The holidays ahead. What do you get that person? Well, I think you get them tools. Can't fail. Better than golf balls. Oh, that's all right. I don't play golf.
You could offend a lot of people with that comment.
I know. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm not here to offend.
I can't play golf.
I love playing golf. I just don't have time. Too much time. All right, we're going to take a break here, folks. We'll be back with more about your house right after this.
To find out more about the show, go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Owens Chimney Systems is known for all professional chimney services since 1989, including chimney cleaning, recommended annually, chimney evaluations and inspections, any and all chimney repairs and restorations, gas fireplace and gas fire log service, furnace cleaning, cleaning out one of the most overlooked appliances in the home. Get it done right the first time. That's Owens Chimney Systems at 704-554-9595. Or you can visit us online at owenschimneysystems.com.
Go outside and take a look at your home. Are the gutters doing their job? The number one enemy to your home is water. Most homes are built with small, inadequate gutters and small downspouts. ABS Insulating has a division of the company that does nothing but gutter services. All gutter services: cleaning, maintaining, repair, new downspouts, replacement, and new gutters with many types available. They're a leader when it comes to gutter protection. Call ABS Insulating today, 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
Steve Helms here with the Al Metal Dryer Vent Corporation. The Al Metal Dryer Vent Corporation is a full-service dryer vent company. Regardless of the problem, we can handle it. Does your clothes dryer take longer than 45 to 50 minutes to dry a load? If so, you need your dryer vent cleaned or checked. The clothes dryer is the most inefficient appliance in the house and should never take longer than 45 to 50 minutes. Call Al Metal Dryer Vent today at 704-846-8368 or online at almetaldryervent.com. That's 704-846-VENT. Have you cleaned your dryer vent lately?
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to About Your House. We're talking about tools, doing jobs, and Christmas. The holidays are upon us, and what do you buy at Christmas? What do you gifts? Well, I'm a practical gift buyer. If you don't, frankly speaking, I know I'm old Scrooge maybe. I don't believe in buying Christmas gifts just for the gratuitous fact of buying a Christmas gift. Because you know what, in reality. And Lord of mercy, if we hadn't proved that lately, we're all blessed. We have everything we need. And then some. I mean, seriously, we're so blessed and have so much in our lives. We're so fortunate. So getting somebody a gift from the heart to me is something that I want to buy something for someone that means something, that has function, that they can use. And as a matter of fact, they can use it to the degree every time they use it, they think of me. Now, if that's not that, I'm not being selfish there. I just want to be functional, practical.
You want something sentimental.
Yeah, I want
Has
something
meaning.
practical. Yeah. And by the way, that toolbox I gave my stepdaughter, you know when I gave it to her? For Christmas.
But how long ago was that?
She was, oh God, that was almost 50 years ago.
Wow. That's
40.
That's cool.
No, I'm wrong. My apologies. That was 40 years ago.
Still, that's
Over
a long
40.
time.
Yeah.
That's cool. She still uses it.
Yeah. Well, there again, tools. I wish I had $1 for every tool that I've lost or that it was lost for me, so
Right.
to speak. My gosh, I'd have a van full of tools. I was thinking the other day of all the tools that I used to have that I don't know where it went. I don't know where they went. My brother's forever calling me, you remember that tool we had? Where is it at? I don't know where it's at. I hadn't seen that in years, but you lose tools and people steal tools,
Yeah.
but you can't. The thing is, and here's something about doing task. I covered it the other night over at West Boulevard with one of the guys, the mentors. He said, when I help a friend or when I do a project at home, I go to the box store at least 3 or 4 times. I said, that's the difference between knowing what you're doing and not knowing what you're doing.
Right.
And he said, you're right. I says, the biggest challenge I have faced in all of my professional career is being prepared. Like I talked about on this show today, planning. Well, planning is being prepared. Because if you plan, you can look on your plan and the day you're going out to do a task, if it's just nothing more than, setting the commode, well, you know what tools you need because you've done it. You want to make sure that you have everything you need, the wax ring, commode bolts, everything you need is on the truck. Because when I get there, I don't want to leave. Like I've got an event to do Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, I've got an event to do, and I'll be there approximately 4 hours.
You're going to have everything before you get there.
I want to have that truck loaded with the ductwork, the tools, the tape, the screws, the washers, the wire nuts, the wire. I want everything on my truck. I don't want to leave there where some people would go and say, well, I got to leave and go get stuff.
They'll just wing it.
Well, it's not really winging it. You're separating the day. I like to get there and just plow that garden and get her done.
Get in, get out.
Get in and not have to leave and then come back because that kills an hour to an hour, maybe
Right.
2 hours of your day. Only got 4 hours. See, I also set my time limits. My goal is to be out of here at 2:30 or whatever. And I tell my homeowner that. Now, I might be past that. We might hit some hiccups along the way.
For sure, yeah.
And if I do, but if it's run smooth, and here again, what do I mean by smooth? A job will run smoother if you planned it correctly because you've already done it in your mind.
Yeah.
I tell people this, I say, send me the make and model number. I go online and I look at it thoroughly. Tear it apart, read the instructions. I read the instructions. Now, if I've done it before, I don't read them because I've been here. I know that one. Okay, cool. Right? So I've done that job. I've told homeowners something. I've already done this job 4 times. How'd you do that? In my mind. and on paper.
Visualized it.
But my goal, like I say, is to go there, do the whole job, regardless of what I need, have everything on the truck. Tools, equipment, materials, everything. And I'm there, and when I leave with a check in my hand and say, bye, have fun, enjoy life. And I didn't have to leave. So therefore, I'm going to do some upfront work. I may have to go buy this. I may have to go buy a damper. I may have to. But if there again, here's the big big point to this. If you're not prepared and you need something and you go to the store and they don't have it, then what? Then you got to go back. Then you've just ruined your estimate in time. But if you get it up front, you know you're going to need that cutoff valve. Have it on the truck. You know you're going to need that, thingamajig. Have it on the truck. And then what about that 7-inch wall damper you need for the vent? You better have it, because you can't go pick a 7-inch wall damper up at the box store because they don't have them. So see, all that should be planned ahead of time.
For sure.
Well, planning is essential. And if you're a dummy and don't know what you're doing, it's very, very, very important to plan. I'm not trying to criticize. I'm trying to help you. Stress sucks.
Oh, it's terrible.
I hate the stress attached with it. And another thing it makes you resourceful, being that way. If you're resourceful, you look ahead and make sure you got it. And I never leave the warehouse without some wood on the truck. That's another being prepped. I want a couple 2x4s and some other wood, 3/4 board, couple smaller sheets of plywood, cabinet grade 1/4-inch plywood, various things. Because in cabinetry and cutting holes through cabinets in the bottom of the vent, you always need a piece of fine looking plywood to cover a hole, maybe that was there.
Right.
And you got to cover it. So you got to be prepared. These are things you got to think about. A caulking gun. You always need a caulking gun to seal a round pipe.
100%.
Yeah, when I make a hole in the floor for a vent, that pipe's going to fit through that hole, and it's going to have a little crack around it. Not a big old gaping hole that I got to put a piece of tin around. That ain't pretty. Well, you got to caulk around that hole, so you better carry the caulking gun with a new tube of caulking. These are little things that make a big, big difference. And one more thing, and I've said it many times through the years, it's the details. The hardest part of any job is the end, the details. The details can sink the ship. And let me tell you a detail that is a biggie, and then we're going to wrap up. I put down hardboard on the floor. 1/8-inch piece of hardboard is masonite on the floor when I do a job. I cover the island. I cover the cooktop. I cut with a piece of plywood and moving quilts. I cover everything. Why? You want to have a bad day? Drop a drill on a cooktop and then have to replace the cooktop. Bad day. You want a bad day? Drop a tool on the hardwood floor and put a dent in it, or break a tile floor. That's a bad day. So you got to prep for all this stuff and not be a slob and think about damages and possible accidents. But in the meantime, folks, I've had it. We're done. All time's up. Over. Next Saturday, join me as we have another eventful day on About Your House. Every Saturday, a plethora of information. This Saturday, no different. Go spread some love. Find the elderly. Find a child mentor. We got to do some work. We need industry. Step up. Let's put tools in schools. And I'll see all of you next Saturday right here on About Your House. I love you all. Take care. Have a great week.